Welcome to Vintage Story. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Really? Animal Crossing? Actually, I'm being mostly serious. This game is way more relaxing than it has any right to be. It's honestly super cozy, especially on peaceful nights when you're just having fun decorating your house. Now, a more accurate title might be If Minecraft and Animal Crossing and H.P. Lovecraft made a baby, but it's surprisingly a lot more comfortable than you'd expect. So tune in, we're in it for the long haul in this one. Whether you're actively watching or just need something to fall asleep to, hope you enjoy. That's right, I finally figured out the cinematic camera, which is built into the base game, by the way. Look at that, man, how cool. I spent a lot of time looking at other people's builds in this game. Whenever I think I've made something detailed, I'm always humbled because the level of intricacy you can achieve in Vintage Story is almost unparalleled. So I think it would be really cool to dedicate a lot of time working on a single building that not only looks good, but is also functional. Right now, I'm at the foot of the castle in progress over there. Oh, some grass just grew. I'm doing a little bit of civil planning because I want to construct a village. I've created a list of buildings I want to construct, each with the specific use. Right here is the town square. I mean, it's a rectangle, but whatever. I'll probably redo it later on. There's too many path blocks. Even though each path block has a unique texture, it kind of helps break it up. I still think I could do better than this. I want to have a fountain in the center. I do want to start there, at least. I want to have 4 directions of main roads. And then I want to have buildings that are arranged in a specific way by type, by how frequently I'll use them, and then I want to have a wall that surrounds the entire thing. So if you open up the handbook, right, there's all these survival guides, of course. There's a lot of different things. Coke oven, steel making, cheese making, smithing, prospecting, farming, blah, 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 blah. It'd be cool to have a building dedicated to each one of these and other various processes that the game has to offer. Come on. Let's go, whale crop. Ha! I think I've got some clay in here. So I've done a lot of thinking about where I want to start. I've always wanted to try the pottery mechanics of this game. You probably know about clay forming and firing stuff like molds, bowls, and whatever, right? Shift click, you have all this stuff you can make, and that's fun. And then you stick it in the ground and cover it with grass and sticks, da-da-da-da-da. But that's beginner, early game stuff. And I've never taken it any further than that, but there's an entire other system that allows you to get way more complex. And that is the beehive kiln. So let's look at this real quick. It's a pretty big guide here, but the beehive kiln is kind of like the steel refinery thing, like a giant kiln you build that you can walk into and control like the heat levels of. And by doing that, by controlling the interior temperature when you're putting your clay forms, you can create different colors of stuff, which is really cool. And it's also just great for mass production. Let's take a look. What can we make with red clay? It can be formed into all this stuff. Right? Let's say raw red brick. So in a beehive kiln, there are, I guess, 3 doors or 3 hatch doors. By opening a certain amount of them, you can control the temperature. And that temperature determines the color. So you get a tan brick, I guess, when all the doors are closed. You get a orange brick when 1 door is open, a red brick when 2 are open, and a brown brick, brown bricks, when 3 doors are open. And that's kind of how this works. I guess the same goes for all these different things you can make. So you get all these cool colors. Now, blue clay, I'm pretty sure that you can get a lot of different colors from this as well. Let's see what you can get. Yeah, you can get cream brick. That's cool. That's cool color. Gray, black, it looks like just grayscale. And then clinker bricks. So clinker bricks are like overcooked, but I don't really understand why that is. Like why you can only get them from blue clay, but whatever. The clinker bricks make a really interesting texture. So it looks like this, right? But if you were to take a bunch of these and arrange them into a wall, this is what you would get. The first time I saw this in somebody's build, I was like, what am I looking at? Is that a mod? But no, that's base game. It's really weird, but that makes for some really cool build techniques and texture. Now hold on, we're gonna look at one more thing. What can we make with the cream bricks? We have 4 blocks available to us, but these brick blocks, these are kind of like the standard bricks you're used to, can be remade into several other brick types. Header bond bricks, running bond bricks, which are just like smaller, And then there's like a quarter offset, which is funny. And that could be further crafted into a half offset, you know, if you really want to control your textures that much. This is a soldier bond when they're kind of stacked upside down like this. Header bond. Anyway, a lot of stuff is available to us. That is why I want the first structure or building in this village to be a pottery area, or like a clay workshop type thing. I've always wanted to do it, might as well do it now. Another reason I'm choosing pottery as the first building is because a lot of the other stuff is going to be updated. The processes like smithing or farming or whatever, they're gonna change a little bit when 1.22 drops, and so I'm waiting for that to happen. Okay, first things first is the fountain. I already have an idea for what I want to do for the fountain in the center. I do want to use some kind of rock, some kind of processed stone. Let's see what we actually have here. Ooh, suavite. That's perfect. Let's do that. I do like these suavite stones as well. This kind of rock is only found in meteorite impacts, so it's very rare. I'm gonna process half of it into polished rock. There we go, cool. Process half of those into slabs, and half the slabs into ashlar. And then I'm pretty sure that all my mortar I left at the foot of the castle. As far as the castle goes, this still has a ton of work left to be done on it. You know, I think this main building looks great. A lot of detailing went into this. Thank you, Vintage Shori, for your wonderful creative opportunities. This building was tricky for a while. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, and I kind of just like put it to the side. But I had an idea for something cool. I'm gonna want to try it later on. Same goes for that structure up there. I decided I don't really like the ebony. You see that kind of, it's almost purpley. I know it's supposed to be black, but it's almost purpley. I don't really like the ebony and the diagonal towers, so I'm going to remove a lot of that stuff and change it up. I have ideas, but that's going to be another time. Oh, look at that mortar. Okay, I think it's just like this. Let's make 4 of these. Or 8, I guess, because they double. Look at this rock, huh? Look how wild that looks. Pretty freaking cool. That is like a really cool block. Dang, I was surprised. This impact rock, the raw rock looks quite different. It's almost shiny, or it looks like it has a lot of crystals in it, you know? It's lighter than the impact rock is like some kind of weird medium between these two. Huh, that is fascinating. Okay, well, I'm excited to use these because these look like way more industrial than I was expecting, so. Boom. Inconveniently for us, it's getting a little dark, so I don't know what to do about that. I'm gonna put these here as placeholders for the time being. Actually, you know what? Let's try this, okay? Ashlar, all the way around. Well, almost all the way around. I'm gonna stick this torch underneath there. Keep it out of the rain. The next thing I'm gonna do, let's turn these into diagonal blocks. Oh, excuse me. I'm busy. Ow. Got meleeed by a boat torn. Where was I? Oh, these aren't quite diagonal yet. You know, I was gonna make this a diamond shape, but I wonder if it'd be better if it was octagonal. Probably, right? I feel like octagonal would be better. The diamond shape may not actually allow for much water. Not a food. Chiseling really takes a lot out of you. So I know that holding something in your offhand, I think, increases your hunger rate by 20%, but I wonder if actively chiseling increases it even more. Let's see, it's at 120. Nope, it's okay. It's all in my head. Yeah, let's make this whole thing bigger. Why not? I have to replace these path blocks because they're a little bit too short. Oh, excuse me. Aha. here's the idea. Let me remove this. Let me remove that. Keep it like this. And then like that. Yeah? That could be cool. I don't have enough dirt for this. Dang, look at that thing jump. Alright, I'm about to start starving. Come back to this in a minute. I'm pretty sure I buried some food. Close to here, yeah. Ah, well that's not great. Red currant and spelt porridge. How is porridge different from oatmeal? I mean, I guess these aren't oats, it's grain, so maybe that's your difference right there. I don't think I've ever had porridge. Is that the only difference? That it's like literal grains instead of rolled oats or, you know, like peeled oats? What is the difference between an oat and a grain? I probably sound like an idiot right now, God. I'm gonna look it up. An oat is a type of cereal grain, meaning all oats are grains, but not all grains are oats. Well, I figured that out. Oats are specifically highly nutritious, high-fat, gluten-free. Really? I guess I knew that, but I know that you can still have gluten issues if you eat like oats, if you buy like regular oats, because they have gluten dust. You know, so that's why there's gluten-free oats at the health section of your grocery store. So I think oats are like a specific plant. Yeah, they're one specific type of plant. Avena sativa. Well, that clears it up. Apparently one of the commonly asked questions in regards to oats. Under people also ask, it was written, do oats spike cortisol? That's good to know what's on everybody's mind these days. Do they, actually? I wonder if they do. Alright, let's go to bed. Probably gonna fill this in with a different material than dirt later on, but this is just a placeholder. Okay, and then let's copy that diagonal shape. Oh yeah, you know what's something? There's a bug with copying where, look, the lighting is messed up. But if you update the block, that lighting error goes away. So you know what I should do, just to make this slightly easier on myself? I could copy this shape with an obvious, like, flaw here, and then I paste that around. It's rotated. Oh, not that way. Rotating the block would actually update that. I don't need to be doing this. Okay. I've got to rotate it anyways. Yeah, see? There we go. It's not like a perfect hexagon, but it is a hexagon. Oh, you know what? I have an idea. I think this might make the block slightly more hexagonal shaped. Let's push this back just a little bit. Chisel mods are fun, huh? I could go back like 2 more. Yeah. That's like a little bit more even. The reason I want to push it back is I think I'd like to finish the top with a nice slab, some kind of rock, but you know, it should probably be lighter than this base rock here, right? If I did this, that is a little bit lighter. It's pretty cool. The Suavite slab would also work, but it's got this weird line in the middle. I mean, I don't think it's a big deal. This whole thing is actually quite dark anyways. I wonder if I should just do normal Suavite impact rock as the topper. You know, it's the lightest one. I can't mine this directly. I've got to... There you go. If you didn't know. Let's try both. Why not? It is rare, though. I just got to be careful. So I think... Just break it down 2 blocks. Voxels, not blocks. Sorry. And then we add in Suavite impact rock. I'm going to raise it. Well, no, not that. It's because I'm selecting the part that's the brick. It's raising more brick. Let's just place it in manually a little bit. What? Oh, what the heck? Oh, I selected the wrong one. I have to do connected material. Okay, yeah, so it was overriding everything. Wonderful, good to know. Oh look, there's a little bit left in here. Let's bring that back out, the original material, and then... like this. So there's your topper. I guess that my problem with this is that it looks nice, but it's just very unrefined. And I do like the more refined, vertical slab, refined look of this, you know, with the nice borders. Let's try that. Let's add one of these. Down 2. Look at that. The border looks a lot nicer, a lot more like what I would expect. Okay, here's what I think. I do like this a little bit better because of the more refined look to it. But here's what I can do, okay? I can make this material the floor of the fountain, and I can make the exterior ground out here a lighter colored block like limestone, like that castle is. And that'll contrast nicely because my worry was that this was going to be dark and kind of like depressing, I guess, to look at. I would like the town to have more cheerful colors, or at least a more cheerful color balance. But I think that that's a technique that'll work. Okay, we're out of food again, but I completed this shape here. Got the top polished slab going all the way around. Looks pretty cool, but there is a bit of an issue. So the interior, right? I wanted this to be diagonal, but underneath, these are going to remain normal blocks so I could put water underneath them and that the slab would just cover it, right? That was kind of the plan, but I guess it slipped my mind that I wanted these to rest on top of the ashlar blocks and not be literally a part of them. It really did slip my mind because if this were another game, I would not be able to put water here, right? Thankfully, due to dynamic waterlogging, we can do whatever we want, really. And the fountain keeps it in without spilling out or anything weird. How easy. I don't think it creates source blocks the same way. I mean, clearly, I'm just clicking on it. Look at that, huh? It's right at the rim. I probably could have filled this in, right? I probably could have filled in the interior, you know, and made it hexagonal on the inside. You know what? I am going to do that, actually. It's going to be a pain, but I am going to do it. I cannot see. Oh, but I can see those guys. Be gone. Be gone. Alright, hey, you. Come closer. Alright. I need you to light me up. No, not you. Ow. Yeah, I made this too thick. And now, to fill it in, this actually might prove to be difficult, because I need a block to place it off of. Alright, you know what? Let's do this, okay? I'll just take it out, and then chisel it up here. Ta-da. And then shave it down even further. It's about the third time, or fourth, that I've had to do this already. Nope, there we go. Ta-da! And it still works. I was kind of worried that it wouldn't turn out very well. Copying, shape and materials, rotate. There we go, interior of the fountain. That looks really cool, actually. That looks a lot better. Okay, the last issue you may have already noticed. I can't believe I've spent as much time on this fountain as I have so far. Look, there's these little notches here, and that's... It's too dark. I know you're there, man. Come on. Oh, God. There are these little notches here. The block here, there's no block, right? And you can't chisel a block outside of the confines of a block, right? Like, it has to stay all within this. So that means I have to donate about 8 slabs to fill in these notch holes. Like this. Well, maybe not like that. Let's keep it consistent. I want it to be facing upwards like that. Yep. Let's yeah, recraft them so they stay up. It's a lot of work just for a few pixels. There we go, this teeny corner right here. I think that's about 10 voxels. I'm counting. It's 10 voxels and it's too thick, so 20 voxels. That's it, compared to the 256 that are in a block, I think. Feels like it's more than that. Anyway, copy shape, paste shape, rotate, rotate, excuse me. And there we go. This looks kind of cool. There's almost like more of a pattern on the top. I like how this turned out. I think it looks awesome. I wish it was brighter. So I want to add a centerpiece to this, but I'm not honestly very sure on how to go about that. It is not an odd length. It's an even length, which means that we can't have water streams kind of coming out of the middle. They'll be too wide. However, perhaps we can really put some artistic chiseling ability to use and get some like blue and then see-through voxels and create a water stream coming out of whatever sculpture we put here. But I think I'm gonna wait on that. I want to get started on the pottery building already. I'll save the rest of this till later. I need to cook something, and I'm gonna have dinner in real life as well. I have leftovers. I made this homemade ragu the other day. Okay, it's like a chuck steak, slow cooked with sofrito, which is great. It went for like 8 hours. It was really tender, but I made the noodles myself. I haven't really done that. I mean, I did it once years and years ago. That was a disaster though, but I tried it again now that I think that I have a little bit more skill. And I used, what is that, seminola flour, which I heard is like good for pasta. Honestly, it felt like sand, and it was expensive too, so I kind of think that it's maybe not worth it. Honestly, all-purpose flour is probably fine. I used a decent amount of that as well because I didn't have enough seminola flour. The dough was too wet, so I cut in a lot more just regular flour to work with. Anyway, it turned out great. It was a little chewy, maybe because I kneaded it too much. You know, I developed the gluten a little bit too much, or maybe it rested for too long. But it was delicious, right? And the best part, it wasn't outside of buying the flour for the pasta, right? It wasn't terribly expensive. It's feeding me for several days. It means it is worth it. I love cooking, man. Love to cook. I love that Vintage Story allows you to have a more dynamic cooking system. However, there are mods that expand it. There's expanded foods, culinary artillery, and there's food shelves. There's the 3 different mods I just named that I know about. I'm just gonna scarf down the rest of these berries. They're going bad anyways. Perhaps they're worth checking out. I've talked about it before. I'm just always hesitant to get a mod. Maybe when I get an actual kitchen going or have cellars or something, I'll do that. Anyway, I'm gonna go get something to eat. It has not stopped raining since I started recording this video. I've laid out where I want this pottery store to be. I spent a lot of time thinking about it. I spent actually most of the day just kind of looking and thinking and conceptualizing. Also looked up pictures of pottery barns online. But I came to this conclusion. First, I actually want to expand the town square. It's a little bit small once I realized how big this building is going to be. Second, here's the layout. I kind of have this sectioned off in certain ways. It's a little bit odd how the cob appears on here, but I guess that's rendering shadows. This square here, this is like a 5x5 square. This is a patio. It's an exterior patio. And it's not going to be perfectly square. I'm going to manipulate the blocks a little bit so it's rectangular. And then this long rectangle here, this is going to be the main structural building. It's going to be a large brick building with a peaked roof, maybe even a vaulted roof. I think a vaulted roof would be good. Yeah. Here will be a glass extension. So the walls here will be extended off of here. And that's also where we're going to put all the pottery on display. So you can look in the window and you can see, you know, what's available. And a lot of natural light, which will be nice. The largest area, this is the back. This is actually an exterior workshop, which is partially outdoors. I'm going to erect fences all along this line. And then we're going to have an overhang roof going on top for the most part. Out here is going to be the beehive kiln and whatever else goes out here. It's basically a big outdoor work area. So 4 parts to this build. It's a lot bigger than I expected, but that's okay. I think it'll be cool once I get it done. The next question is like color scheme. What do we do? So let's look at our bricks again. There are these textures called uneven large bricks, and they make for really interesting patterns rather than the normal brick patterns, which are pretty homogeneous. But I think that they're not obtainable. I don't think that they're obtainable. But how cool do these look? Uneven large cream bricks. I mean, where on earth am I supposed to get these? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we're just gonna have to stick with the other one. I kind of want to build with these. I really like how these look, these cream colored bricks. And we need the beehive kiln to actually make these. And it's fitting, right? This is a pottery building. I feel like the most of the materials in this build should be clay, right? So imagine the center long building is cream bricks. This exterior is some kind of furnished wood with glass. The back is also like a fence, but it could be a brick wall in the back. You know, I actually don't know. And then this exterior has a nice patio floor. I think that would be cool. I'm doing some reading on the beehive kiln here. For this, we need refractory bricks, brick gratings, Now, we don't have access to that. The reason that we don't is because we need a pulverizer, we need wind power, we need some kind of mechanical power to pulverize like bauxite into powder to mix with the clay to turn into refractory bricks. We don't have that available to us. Now, a refinery for the pulverizer is kind of on my roadmap for the town, but I want to build the pottery thing first. That was kind of the plan. According to the handbook, we can use regular fireclay variants of all this stuff, but it will degrade faster, so that's what I'm going to do. The other thing that we're going to need is iron hatch doors. We're going to need 3 of these, and it requires, look at that. I can't tell if it requires either 4 ingots and 2 plates, or one or the other. Because this says smithing, not crafting, which means we make it on an anvil. And 2 iron plates is worth 4 ingots. So our problem is that I actually only have steel. It's kind of a silly problem to have, but I've only got steel. I don't have any iron. I brought a bunch of steel south with me when I moved here, right? I didn't think that I would need iron again, but everything in this beehive kiln, including the kiln door, requires iron. Iron rod, iron nails and strips. I think you can use different kinds. Yeah, you can use steel, but you need iron rods. So if I'm correct, it's about 4 ingots each for each door. So 16 at the least, but 28 at the most if I'm wrong. Do we even have any hematite? Wish there was a sort chest button, that'd be fun. I have a bunch of stuff in here, I just from gathering it. Look at all the silver, man, look at all that. I don't see any iron of any kind. We have a little bit of meteoric iron. I'm not gonna use that though. And then we have a bunch more steel. We have no iron. Okay, well that has to happen. Not only does that have to happen, but we have to fire a bunch of fireclay bricks. This requires 9 refractory gratings. I don't know how many blocks we can use a fireclay brick grating. These are pretty cheap. And I don't know how many of these are necessary. Probably a lot. Just grab a bunch of that. Okay, 2 stacks of raw bricks. Take a nap real quick. While I'm in bed, where on earth is there hematite here? Turning waypoints off. Hematite only. Looks like the only place I've ever prospected for it is here. That's kind of far. What about south? Oh, look. There's a little bit south. Not much. And even further south. Oh, we have better rates. The closest prospected source of hematite is here. But it's minuscule. Potentially, we could prospect around and find even more. Because that's the only sample we took of that forest. What about magnetite? That's another source of iron. It's a little bit rarer. Wow, look. Right under the house. Maybe we gotta go after magnetite. I think the veins are smaller of that. We have minuscule amounts here and there. But here, it's a little bit higher. 0.22 per mil. It would be quite helpful if there was some to be found right by the castle. Looks like we also have good readings there. Ooh, wait. That's pretty high. 1.91 per mil. Okay, in the desert. Maybe that's where we should go. Maybe that's where we should go. That's what I meant to say. I can only stick so many in here at a time, unfortunately. I was looking at, whoa, ceramics and brick type mods. I saw some pretty cool ones, but my hesitation is that there's some stuff in them that I don't want. Bricklayer seems like the biggest one, but it adds glowing glass blocks. And I feel like the fact that light sources are so hard to make in this game is probably, like, I like that it's difficult. I don't want to download a mod that makes it easier to do. Maybe it's not easier to do, I don't know. It feels like it just adds too much for my taste. I was just thinking, like, more brick types. Like, look at these. We have red ceramic tiles. These are the only tiles that exist, and I think in 1.22 a lot more will be added. These can only be bought, but I think you can craft them in the next update. But here we have diamond pattern light stone tile. I love this one, it's beautiful. But I wish we could do that with like clay, right? I wish that was a cool clay pattern or a ceramic pattern. It seems like next update is going to be expanding that along with everything, really. So it was hard to pick a building to start with because everything I can think of is going to receive an update. Even the refinery thing I was talking about, or the pulverizer, we're going to get extra big windmills, and I would like to use one of those. All right, well, that's burning. Let's actually do a few more. I have an unrelated question. Is there really any tactical advantage to using fabric softener? Like when you're washing your sheets or a blanket or something? Is there really a point in doing that? I feel like I've never noticed a difference in my life, which makes me feel like it's a scam. Like just to sell you more stuff. I don't feel a difference, so I wonder if there's a tactical advantage, like it makes your fabric last longer or preserves the quality or something else besides supposedly making it soft, which seems like a pointless thing to me. I don't know why I'm using the knife. Minimalism is something I think about a lot, like how many modern conveniences I could live without. Mostly because I like to live a cost-effective life. And I wonder, like, certain things that I use today or my family uses, fabric softener, is it really necessary? I don't know. I have to get your opinions on that. You know, it's been storming crazy here in real life, too. Big, heavy thunderstorms. There was one the other day, the middle of the day, and my dog was scared. I brought her inside the house. She had just gone to the groomer, so she's clean. She likes to get dirty. You know, I let her in the house because she was frightened. We were just chilling in the house, and I went to go use the bathroom, right? I figured, you know, she's probably gonna explore the house a little bit. I came back out, and I could not find her. What? Oh, shoot. I looked in all the rooms with open doors, my room, living room, you know, kitchen area, whatever, and I could not find her. I looked again, you know, behind things in case she's like hiding from me for some reason. Still couldn't find her. And I heard like faint whining from the mudroom, and she had somehow opened the door and then walked into the mudroom. The door closed behind her. It opens in, not out, so she can't get back out. And she was just sitting in the dark, waiting for me to get done using the bathroom to come get her. It was so pitiful. I don't know how she just pushed her way in, I guess. I don't know why I'm talking about this. I need to cook some soybeans. I don't have a lot of great food options right now. Actually, you know what? What's going on up here? Oh, I haven't grown anything yet. That's what it is. My nutrition's not wonderful. I haven't eaten a vegetable in a while. I'm pretty sure soybeans only count as protein, not vegetable. Oh wait, we can't do that? Really? All right, here's what I'm gonna do. This is rice grain. It's really healthy. I saw on the subreddit that you technically only need 2 logs to cook most hefty meals. There's enough residual heat in the fire from using 2 logs that'll cook the whole thing. So I am curious how that will stack up. I'm gonna make hefty rice porridge, and I'm gonna make hefty soybean stew as well. It's gonna be awesome. And while that's cooking, why don't I make... Yeah, let's make some bandages. Nice. You never know, right? In terms of armor, I really don't have any good armor. I have this stuff. I have some white gamboisin armor or whatever. No, I can't repair it. I need white cloth. To get white cloth, I have to be able to dye. And to be able to dye, I need mordant, so that the cloth will actually take the dye. And I can't have mordant because I don't have a pulverizer. But I wonder, maybe it would be to my benefit to just make some of this. Why not? Let's try it. Look at that, it is true. Dang. Nice. Now the soybeans. Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna make a bunch of this stuff. I think we just put that next to, yep, to make cloth. So yeah, we're definitely not making a windmill anytime soon. Okay, 32 cloth. Gotta make some extra twine. We need to make a sewing kit. I'll make 2 of them. Too bad we're gonna have to stick with our land clothes, gamboisin armor, but it is what it is, right? Oh no, look, the feet require 2. Oh no. Oh no, the helmet requires 2. I don't have enough. What's a really quick way to get flax? This is a mess. I could kill something. Could kill a drifter. If I kill a drifter, I just need 2 flax. I just need 2 more and I can make, you know, a helmet or a pant leg or whatever. There's 1. Okay. Please. Yes. 1 more. Oh, I hear 1. I hear 1. I hear maybe more than 1. A deep one. Deep dritter. Oh, there's another one. Nothing from that one. Ah, okay. Oh, hello. Nothing? Okay. This is making me uneasy. Come on, I don't like being down here. I really don't like being down here. I look, I'm underneath the town. Oh! There he is. Come on, man. Do they not drop flax, the deep ones? Maybe they don't. Maybe it's only surface ones. Looking for dritters. Don't need a bow torn. Just want dritter. I saw this April Fool's artwork on the official Discord server that one of the developers made. I thought it was kind of, it just made me giggle a little bit. I think it's funny that they misspelled drifter. So I've been mentally calling them dritters ever since I saw that. Oh, hey, I saw you. Ah. Oh, hey, wait, nah. Oh, there he goes. Come on. Dang it. I hear... I feel like I've gotten a lot better at combat since I first started this game. I mean, I remember being terrified of these things originally. Hey, I see you. Don't fall. Don't... Whoa. That was a close one. Dang it. How long am I going to be doing this for, man? I just want 1 more flax. Maybe let's try another cave. Not that one. Oh, you're not a drifter. Oh, he did drop flax though. Ha ha ha. All right. Snooze you lose, buddy. How do I get out of here? What? Can't reach me. Aha. Oh, he can reach me. What an ordeal. Okay, so the question is, we make pants? I think pants are probably the better choice. Okay, we got pants. We got body armor. What about a helmet of some kind? Oop, caps. I just wonder if we can make like a cheap one. Ooh, bear hide helmet. We could make a bear hide helmet. That could be cool, because I do have this panda pelt. I think all we gotta do... Nice. I'll put that back down. And then, what was it, rope and sticks? Oh, and bones. This is some caveman stuff, huh? Boom. All right, time to play dress up. We're cave ready. All right, I'm gonna take 64 sticks. It's good to be able to have something to make ladders out of. That's still cooking. Nice, we have that. Pickaxe got some decent durability on it. I think we're good to go. Magnetite, here we come. It kind of went the wrong direction, but it is. What is that? Is that a sun bear? Dude, is that a sun bear? I have never seen a sun bear in this game. Yeah, they do exist. And he's hostile. Certainly not faster than me. Let's kill it, man. Come on. I want a sun bear pelt. What? Whoa. Come on, come on. Ugh. Can't imagine they're that tough. I'm sure he could still tear me up, though. Whoa. What? Hey. I mean, I wasn't really planning on taking these with me. I just want the pelt. Boom. Oiled hide. Look at a mess I made. All these arrows. It's getting hairy out here. We need to go east. Look at how big that rift is. Oh. Maybe it's just the sand making it look bigger. Oh, thankfully we're out of the storm. Place we're looking for should be right up on this slope. Yeah, look at that. This cave. This is where we tested for high magnetite. So, I mean, the easiest way to get it, we could strip mine down, or we take our chances and go down the cave. What do you think, Hyena? Huh. Okay. It's deep, I know that. Looks like there's some sand that fell down here. Limestone, beautiful. Let's get some ladders ready. Bauxite. Oh. Oh, not quite a dead end. Andesite. Okay, so this is the layer that we would find iron. Ow. Let's do a test. No ore node nearby. What about over here? Nothing. Huh. To be fair, we've only got one tested point out here. Maybe there's a better, closer one. Let's dig a little bit. Density search. Just need 2 more samples. High magnetite. Look, that's even higher than our initial reading. This direction. I see up on here that looks like another cave. Maybe we need to go in that one. Guess it was a little bit foolish just to barrel down here. Look at that sky, huh? It's really clear out here. At least it feels clear. Dang. What a view. There's one time in my life where I went to a dark sky preserve, or whatever they call it. And that was in, I think, Baxter State Park in Maine. And I didn't even know it was a dark sky preserve, but we were hiking like way too late, my girlfriend and I. And then when we came down the mountain, we look up and then we see more stars than I've ever seen in my life. All right, let's make some more ladders. So this hill up here is maybe better. Yeah. Straight down. Okay. Let's do a test. Decent magnetite. Not as good as down here. There's caves here, there's caves there. Let's at least see where this one takes us. Ow. Armor's holding up pretty good. Oh, hello. Foolish Dritter. It's not the rock that we want. Huh. Hey, what are you doing here? This is just a big loop, so how about I do another test? Density search. Yeah, that's lower. Looks like this is our best bet. I guess that means I should go back down. I've only mined iron in this game once. I mined so much, I never needed to do it again. But I was being, like, relentlessly attacked by nightmare drifters. I had tin bronze plate armor, and so I was very safe. But now, I don't have any of that. I've actually got none of it. Okay. It's a lot of effort for a clay shop. Nothing. Nothing. We need to go deeper? We're getting really low here. You know what? It is probably very deep. We are on a hill, so it makes sense we have to go way deeper than this. Dang. And the rust bells are tolling. Let me dig this way a little bit. I'm gonna have a lot of rocks for path blocks after this. Hey. Oh. 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 Okay. Oh. Hooray! Alright. This looks pretty different compared to hematite. Don't tell me that's all we get. Oh, thank goodness. Don't mind if I do. I don't know what it's like to mine in real life. Probably not as fun. Okay. Forgot to look, but this is a rich chunk. It's 25 units. 20 pieces make 1 iron bloom. 1 iron bloom makes 1 ingot. What did I say earlier? How much is, do we need? 28 at the most, 16 at the least? This is plenty. That's more than plenty. I did come all the way here, though, so I don't want to leave any behind. We still have a lot to mine here. Yep. Mining for ore is a lot more interesting in this game. Never in my life did I ever think I would play a block game other than Minecraft. Honestly. Like, I thought I was going to play that my entire life. So far, I pretty much have. It's the only game I've played consistently for years. I never thought anything would ever replace it for me. But lo and behold, I remember I did an interview with Voltsu, the lead developer of Voima, and he said one of his motivations for making that game, he was looking for the next Minecraft for so long. You know, he played Minecraft once, and then he wanted to find what the next thing was, but he never found it. So he made his own. He made his own Minecraft 2, if you will. So I guess I kind of know how he feels, or how it feels to find a game that's even cooler, in my opinion. Or at least better done. I'll probably never stop playing Minecraft. I talk about it constantly. But this game's pretty good. Here's my weekly endorsement of Vintage Story. If you have not tried it, try it. Yeah, it's interesting. This has got like a blue trim to it. I guess it's kind of the natural color of like prepubescent flax. Whereas this one has a little bit of a gold trim, which is cool. That's why I got it originally. I feel like there's a lot of opportunity for clothing in this game. That's why I do want to have a tailor. But way more clothing's being added in the next update, of course. So I'm going to wait on that. Also, check this out. This is a black bear hide. I really thought that was a sun bear. But I don't know, did I just not pay attention when I was carving it? Apparently it was just a normal black bear. Whatever. I don't feel bad about killing bears. Not after what they've done. Anyway. This is how much magnetite that I got. Magnetite. That's a cool ore. Or a cool name for an ore, I think. Anyway, let's do the math. How much do you think we got? 5 stacks each. That's 320, right? Or five pieces each. So that's 320, 640, 960, and then, oh, this is tricky. So 8, 1,045, and then this one, 1,095. That's my guess, okay? Let's see if I... Oh wait, it's all in stacks. What was my guess? 1,095? Okay, so we have 8 stacks. I'm just gonna get a calculator. 1,055. I was wrong, but it was close. Just whenever I try to do quick math, I try to take as many shortcuts as possible and assume that I'll get it correct, and then I don't. Our fire clay bricks are done. I mean, we don't really need much of this, do we? How much is that gonna make? I don't really remember. 20 pieces turned into an iron bloom, so we're gonna get 6 out of each of these. Dang. We're gonna be good for a while. You know what I just noticed? Look at that. Hold on. Wait, let me get on the ground. Let me get back on the ground. So, there's a tiny layer, and then it gets taller. It's like it fills up. I have never noticed that with the bloomeries. I just thought that it immediately was full. Huh. Always learning new things about this game. It's a fun detail. Leaves us with a decent amount of magnetite. Maybe I should have kept that crystallized chunk as like a memento, because it's rare, you know? I didn't mind at all, either. There was still quite a bit left. The coal doesn't seem to change the model at all. Maybe it is, and we just can't see it. What happens when I break the top here? Ah, crap. Oh man, maybe when I'm placing coal, it's filling up here. I just want to see. I know that this is a bad idea, but... Oh wait, I've already put it in there. Whatever. Okay, that's gonna take a decent amount of time, and then I gotta forge it all into ingots, then forge those ingots into the rods and plates and whatever the heck else. How many of these do we end up getting? I think a decent amount. I think it's 2 stacks, right? And then we lost 2 in that silly exercise. But I've got a little bit over here, so that's not too bad. There's really not a point in me making fire clay bricks or gratings yet. Not until I have this kiln door. Once I've got the kiln door, I can place it and I'll get a schematic. It'll create a schematic hologram for me to know what to build. And don't think I haven't forgotten about these guys. Or don't think I've forgotten. Sorry, it was a double negative the first time. I guess I'm just gonna wait on those. Just waiting. You know the shebang. Let's do something different. Let's plant the crops for this season. Growing season is all season down south. Here's what I think. Cabbage, rice, always gotta plant rice. Soybeans good to have until I have an actual source of meat protein. Where's my flax? There it is. That's good enough, I think. And then we'll see, you know, what the mineral content of these crops actually are. Be gone. Maybe it'd be nice to fertilize this, right? I mean, maybe. I just don't need like a huge volume of crops. I pretty much always got something to eat. My problem is that it's just not very nutritionally dense, what I do end up eating oftentimes. Mostly just vegetables and grain. I guess I eat berries when I see them. This cabbage takes nitrogen. All these other ones take potassium of some kind. Hold on, let's see. Potassium's quite low over here. That's not good. No, because I just grow these ones all the time. But this little brown patch of medium fertility soil, it's pretty good there. What do we grow? I mean, flax, right? This stuff over here is going to grow slowly, but that's okay. I've got plenty of rice and soybeans for the time being. Do halvesies with each of them. Except I haven't got enough of that, so I'll do flax for the rest. Why not? There we go. You know, in Almeria, There are water sprinklers. They automatically water your crops, so you don't need to do it manually. Although I get that it's a little unrealistic. The closest you can get to like high tech in this game is Jonas Tech, and it's kind of lore related, if you can't tell by the name. I've never talked about it. I don't think I've ever really talked about it. But there's plenty of Jonas Tech. All these little collectible pieces you get from killing rare enemies or like looting stuff, they can be made into different things. A rift ward, this thing, that thing, base return teleporter or single-use teleporter that'll bring you back to your returning point. Really expensive, but I mean, maybe it's nice to have. Instantly teleport you back. There's a terminus teleporter, and this is, I mean, I think it teleports you to the place of death, your last place of death. I don't know if that's single use or what. The rift ward does what it says it does. It's powered by temporal gears, and it keeps rifts from spawning around it, which is cool. I am pretty sure that there are also night vision mask, temporal gears to refuel. How cool is that, huh? I would love to have one of these, but look how complex. Look how complex that is, man. Wow. This requires a kind of material that I've never obtained called cupronickel, right? And that's a copper and nickel alloy. Also, you can build a resonator with it, which is like a no block or something. What is this? Rickety translocator. I admit I don't know what this does at all. Maybe gotta build those sometime. In any case, though, I am just gonna wait out the steel. I'm gonna speed through forging it into what we need. We're gonna build the kiln. I'm gonna have to get blue clay as well. You know what? There's blue clay around here, right? So I gotta get blue clay, and then we're gonna start building the pottery shop. Oh, hey, that's copper. Apparently blue clay... I need to get closer to the microphone. Apparently blue clay is a real thing. I mean, I never doubted it was a real thing, but I saw a picture of what real-life blue clay is. How does blue clay form, you know? How does red clay form? My understanding is that clay is, like, just biological material. You know, just like all soil is. Look at this guy's rack, huh? It's getting pretty big, eh? I mean, I might as well. I mean, I'm already here. Hailed today, it rained, it snowed, it was sunny, it was warm, it was cold. It's everything all at once. I'm not doing these, I don't need to. Alright, here comes the hatch door. This takes 4 ingots. And the thing is, if I add too many ingots to this, it'll actually delete the voxels because it'll go outside the bounds of the block. That's a thing I found out the hard way. I just gotta be careful. This would all have been so much easier if I had a forge or something. But again, I'm waiting. It's taken a long time just to make as many ingots as I've made. Yeesh. Ugh. Ta-da! 1 door. I still need 2 more of them. Okay, I should have everything we need to build the beehive kiln, finally. So I think that the door is like this. Yeah, there you go. According to the guide, I just need to place the door and then we're good. And pick up these rocks everywhere. From what I understand, the beehive kiln is probably pretty tall, huh? And pretty wide. I would imagine it's 5 by 5. I would also imagine I need to be able to get all the way around it. Maybe I should extend this exterior area a little bit so that it is in the middle. I'll worry about that later. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, let's just see, actually. I'm gonna put this up on a block, just in case. And then okay, there it is. There's our beehive kiln. So yeah, it would be helpful to be able to walk all the way around this thing. Loading door. I just want to push it back a little bit. There we go. Oh wait, we need mortar. There we go. Look, I can see the schematic from all the way over here. Seems simple enough. Okay, and then these things. Oh, they're hot. They're still hot. Shoot. So I should just be able to, yeah. Let's see how it looks now. 9 blocks are missing. That's got to be the brick grading things that only stack up to 8 for some reason. How about now? Nice. There we go. There's our beehive kiln. I like how these bricks look. I like how some of them are different colors. That's kind of cool, huh? I wonder if those will go well with other bricks, these fire clay bricks. You know what I mean? Apparently the iron hatch doors control the amount of oxygen in the beehive kiln. I figured it was just a heat thing, but more oxygen means darker colors, interestingly. The other step that we've got to do is dig a bit underneath here. And I guess I'll make this look a little bit nice later. Just gotta dig underneath here and put fuel under, I think. I have to decorate this at a later date. And then we can just put fuel underneath here and then light it, and then we're pretty much good. And it can be any kind of fuel. You know what I miss having around here is peat. I have not found any peat since I've moved south. Not any. So my assumption is that it just doesn't form down here, which is odd, right? Or maybe it's not odd. According to these, no doors are open, we get white. Let's keep all these suckers closed. Something I found out recently is the beehive kiln was a mod first. Yeah, I found a beehive kiln on the mod page. So that's cool. Can I just stack this all the way to the top? I'm just gonna stack it to the top, man. Alright, that's all the blue bricks that I've got here. I hope that's okay. Ready to be fired, ignite 3x3 piles of coal below. I thought it said that I could use any kind of fuel. Any stackable wood fuel from wood to coal. My assumption is that I could, yeah, just use this stuff. I'll find out how all this works sooner or later. Maybe I need more than this. Apparently I just need some fuel in all spots, but it doesn't have to be the same amount. And then I've got to light it all. Whoa! Look at that. It just all went at once. Spread quick, too. Okay, receives heat, firing for 0.8 hours. You know, it's odd that it doesn't show the time remaining. It would in the cementation furnace, how we made steel. It would show how much time was left until the steel is fully carburized. It's weird that I can stand right here. I have a feeling I'm going to need a lot more fuel than that. Can I open it? I wish I knew how long it's supposed to take. Alright, it's only been a few in-game hours. But yeah, this needs more fuel. I did some reading on the official wiki about the beehive kiln, the official fuel costs, like stats, that kind of thing. Apparently, once those blue bricks reach a temperature of 1,000 or something like that, once they reach that specific temperature, then they'll start to cook, and it'll take about 9 hours. Oh, didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to take wood off the pile. If I take wood off the pile, does that mean that I could potentially just restart the burning process. It's gonna take a lot of wood just to fire this whole thing. But the ratio for the amount of coal that it takes to fire this whole thing versus if you were to do the whole thing in pit kilns, well, it's apparently a lot more efficient. But I think that's only if you fill this thing to capacity every time. Then it's only slightly efficient. Now, this is just, I guess, a better way to get a large quantity at once, and also you can get different colors, which you can't do in a pit kiln. But yeah, if I filled every single air block in there with bricks, I'd be saving on coal if I used coal, but not firewood, I don't think. The other thing you can do, which I didn't know, but I think I've seen other YouTubers do, is those grating blocks that the heat is passing through. You can put more of them inside of here as shelves. So if you want to do extra pots and stuff like that, then you can add more shelves for the pots. It's pretty cool. This says 13.3 hours now. Hey, look, cream brick. Should I put this out then? I don't want it to burn. I'm glad that I could just pick them up. That's helpful. So, like, can I step in here? I can. This is obviously too hot to touch, but can I just toss it in the lake here? Oh, still too hot. Cream brick. Not bad. Not as creamy as I expected. It looks like it would match that limestone ashlar pretty well. Over there. Look at that, they're cooling off. They're not glowing as bright. I mean, they're really cooling very slowly. Let me just stack this firewood out here. There we go. I guess I can just grab them. Probably be a good idea to have a pair of tongs out here. That's pretty nice. And it looks like nothing got damaged, right? Like none of the bricks broke or nothing. I guess the cementation furnace, the steel furnace, that thing burns for like a week straight. That thing only burned overnight. Actually, it only burned for half a day. Okay, it's probably good. Now I've got them. I've got the bricks. We can make this weird chimney block. I don't even know what that does. Cream bricks with a running bond, cream brick stairs, all that stuff. And then the slab. I don't need the slab. But it is kind of cool, the how the bricks are stacked differently on the slab. And I guess, you know, you can make all these as well. I wonder, should I do weird combinations? Like we can have these teeny ones, or these. Let's just stick with normal for now. I do love that there are many different brick patterns available. Cornerstone. Okay, that's kind of the layout of the building. We do need an entrance. So we can get these. Oh wow, look at that. You can make even more kinds. Holy smokes. So you actually need more mortar to make this running bond bricks. You can make 3/4 offset running bond. What the heck? So to make this would be a little bit of a sacrifice. I wonder if it would be worth it, or if it would just be weird. How about let's start with this. How do I make this one? Look at that. Offset soldier bond. Apparently we just stack these on top of each other. I wanted to try this because I thought it might be cool for like an outcropping, like an entrance, like this. I think it's kind of neat. I do like the different patterns. It's pretty neat. As for this, so like the normal brick pattern, it's kind of too classic to give up. These here, I was thinking that they should be like pillars of some kind. So I'll worry about that later, I guess. You know, I don't know how tall this needs to be. You know, a show I've been watching lately is Mr. In Between. And I've been meaning to watch it for a long time. I just see like clips recommended to me or whatever, and I don't want to spoil myself too much of it. And you know what I finally started? It's really good. And I don't know why it's so good. I mean, it's well written, the characters are interesting. I think maybe the fact that the main character is also the writer and producer, I believe, has a lot to do with like how well acted it is. They act like real people. They don't act like actors, I guess. Maybe the stage direction is just really good. But I don't know. Australian television show. It's pretty good. At this rate, I'm gonna run out of mortar. I think this is a good size for the building. And then I wanted to have a roof. And it's of course fitting that the roof should probably be made from shingles of some kind. So So look, raw blue clay shingle. We can make all these shingles from it. The white, of course, but we can also do black, black, and black, and gray. The gray looks good. I like the gray. The black also looks good. Huh. What should we do? I was thinking I'd take this and I would chisel a roof to get a nice slope. Maybe I don't need that. You know, maybe I'll only chisel this outcropping roof here. So what do we do? Do we do gray? We do gray. We look like this. We go for full black. We look like that. It's hard. I just gotta try to imagine this building fully finished. Huh. You know something? We don't have to do either of them. We can actually do a lot of other colors. We can do tan, orange, red, or brown. Maybe brown would be better because these are all our available colors. That's a tough decision. I've been trying to track down all the blue clay that I can so far. I've dug up a few of the previous deposits that I've found. We're kind of running thin here. This is the last one I have marked that I'm going to right now. You know, I just found something interesting. So look, this tree is ripe, this fruit tree, and we have pomegranate. And I guess I've been here for a decent amount of time in this area, so because I've loaded this tree maybe last year, now it's finally bearing fruit. That's interesting. But hey, I was kind of running out of things to eat, so maybe I can get some for the road back to cook with. This is a pretty big tree. I think you can aim up underneath it and get extras, even if it's like not visible. Cool. So how much do these actually give you? 80 saturation? Isn't that just as much as like a current? Huh, interesting. Look, I can see a tree way over there. I'm sure that's got some fruit too. And hey, up in the mountains. All right, this looks like a pretty big deposit of blue clay. So far, Elkrum's got a decent amount. I have a little bit. But after I mine this one up, I don't know how much I'm gonna have left. What's interesting is that, like, to put the walls up of the building, that took most of the blue clay I got from a single deposit. Maybe half, because I went back and mined it again. And I've made trips. But still, you know, it's expensive. Kinda wanna see if that tree has olives on it. There's all kinds of fruit trees in the game, but there's also olive trees. Is olive a fruit? I mean, I never really thought of it as a fruit. It's got a seed. I guess it's not a vegetable. I mean, I assumed it was a vegetable. I don't know what olives are like in this game. Well, it's right. It looks like a bee. This is better than the pomegranate. Oh, look, it does say food category vegetable. And this is food category fruit. But I thought, okay, so now I'm confused. I thought vegetables didn't have seeds in them, and fruit did have seeds. That's why tomatoes are fruit, not a vegetable. Everybody knows that. Olives have a pit. Dates have a pit. Dates are fruit, right? Why are olives vegetables? I mean, they may be fruit, but I may have just categorized it as a vegetable for some reason. I don't really know. But, dang, mountain olives. It's interesting. They're a lot more preferable to pomegranates, even though pomegranates are huge. And look, there's another tree over there, and right there. They've got the white leaves. Dang, it's a big one. I could go for some olives in real life. I have some Castlevania olives. I don't know what they're called. They're pretty good though. And a little bit in there. Oh, excuse me. Oh, hey, you know what? Ow. He just wants one. He's hungry. He's just hungry. He wants some. Oh, they're scared. I offered them an olive branch and they ran away. Ta-da. These are green olives. I wonder about how black different kinds of olives would be. Be cool if we could make olive oil, right? It would also be cool if we could make butter. I saw someone asking about that, like as a suggestion. We can get cheese, you know, we can get blue cheese. Why can't we get butter? I guess the real answer is like, what use would butter serve? Because we don't really need cooking oil, you know? Maybe for baking? Okay, it's time for a tea break. This is Rooibos Earl Grey, which I got as part of a sample set gift kind of thing. I'm not always partial to Rooibos, but you know, I haven't had it in a while, so let's try it. I steep this at about 5 minutes at boiling temperatures, and in the absence of honey, I haven't got any. I'm gonna be using maple syrup, which I made with my father. So yeah, a little off the cuff, we'll see how it goes. Also, I got this cracker. Okay, live taste test. I haven't had Rubios in a very long time. Huh. Yep, tastes like Rubios. It's different, you know, I think it's more of an acquired taste than normal tea. I think it also lends itself well to like maybe being made in a latte. Honestly, Rubios is not my favorite, but I mean, this is a unique flavor. I don't mind having it every once in a while, but I do prefer real tea. However, nice benefit of not having any caffeine in it. Pretty sure Rubios is some kind of African grass. Anyway, this thing is totally full. We have blue clay bricks in there, and I actually didn't want to make a lot, but I'm like, I didn't want to waste the fuel, so I filled up the rest with red clay. I'm going to leave 2 doors open here, and by leaving 2 doors open, we should get black and brown bricks. Brown bricks? That's what I decided on. All right, here we go. I guess I need to really consider later on fireproofing this whole place. Looks like it's going. You know something special about that maple syrup? My dad and I made it together. The flavor of the syrup is different depending on like how late in the season you are. So that maple syrup is the first batch of syrup in the season, and so it's very light. Like I guess you could call it A grade, but maybe even lighter than that. The more time goes on, the more your syrup will caramelize in the pan. Later in the season, you'll have more of a maple flavor. That's where that comes from. But early in the season, it just tastes like sugar, really. I mean, it doesn't have a strong maple flavor. It tastes like glucose. So that's what I put in the tea, because it's like not overwhelming. It's actually a pretty decent sweetener, though I'm a little bit more picky with it than I am with honey. And if you have really mapley maple, I'm especially picky with that. Let's try this little tea cracker. Can't believe they'd waste plastic and wrap a single cracker. I hate that, you know? I understand that this is like a sampler set or something. Still. I like that. Pretty solid graham cracker flavor. It goes actually really good with the tea. Yeah, you know, sometimes pairing tea with crackers just like next level. Why did I take down this wall? Because I think I do want to go for the small bricks. Let's try it. I believe I've got to do it with a little bit of mortar. I got to do it with a little bit of chiseling. It's like something like this. Oh, it's like that. There we go. So I think we're only going to get 11. Yeah, all right. We need to mix more mortar. Take a look at this though, okay? Like I thought that this pattern was going to be too noisy. It's actually really cool. I really like that. However, you know, maybe I don't like this so much anymore. This front facade, I should probably change it back to this. My inventory is very full. Let me dump it off really quickly. Oh. Never mind. I'm just going to stack all the bricks next to the kiln, but maybe another time, huh? Very high rift activity. How are these crops doing? Not bad. Not bad. Probably need to be watered. Now, during a temporal storm, I was crushing a little bit of lime. Probably need a lot more than this. You know, having the tea and the cracker together makes them both taste better. It's like tea charcuterie. Oh man, do we have to cook this in a quick lime? Ah, we do, don't we? I heard somewhere that campfires are bugged, okay? As in, like, the heat of these items resets every time one cooks, and they should all be carrying that heat. And so there is a mod to fix it. Look at this, no longer required as of V122. Developers have integrated what this mod does into the base game. Well, you know, again, we're not at 122. This is the thing about, like, playing a game that updates a lot. It's cool to get new content, but you're kind of like, it affects your play style, you know, like, because you're waiting for the next thing. I've been playing the same version of Minecraft for so long, Alpha 1.1, that, like, I didn't have that problem anymore. So, I guess I forgot. Like, it's exciting to receive new stuff, but, like, I'm waiting to build so many things. I'm waiting for the update to come out. Anyway, let's get it. Please don't break. You might say that adding this mod is just making the game easier, you know, it makes the fire pit faster. But the developers are literally adding it the next update. So it sounds like it's just a bug. Anyway, we're going to find out. Oh, we're going to find out how much of an improvement this really is. There we go. Once I have a forge, I'll probably be priming this with better fuel. you know? I imagine this is going to go pretty quick, relatively. Nice. And look at that, huh? Look, the temperature didn't reset, so it's just going to keep going. It really does make sense that it was a bug, because if I took this whole stack out, that whole stack would be that temperature. Even if I divided it in half or took one off, it would be 900 degrees. Yeah, this is much more preferable. There we go. Pretty sure we only need 8 liters of water. Oh no, my bucket's over there. Can I just... No? Yeah, I think I could just fill up this is bowl 1 liter at a time. Huh? Nice. This is certainly a worse alternative. Not this right. I'll just do it here. Ta-da. And then we just put in... There you go. Crap ton of mortar. While we're at it, let's cook something up with them olives, huh? I mean, I think we can do that. But I mean, I also think we can maybe stick some pomegranates in there. Yeah. Has to be this one. Only need 2. I guess I gotta wait. You know something? Making the tea on my desk, I was kind of thinking about where I should make it. And I just decided I'll make it on my desk in front of my computer. It'll be fun. Making it on my desk has made me think about when I get like a actual office. You know, I'd like to have an office in my house so I'm not recording in my bedroom, which I am. But when I have one, I'd also like to have like a little table that's just for making tea. You know, that would be nice. Little tea section in the office. It's very ideal. I'd also like to have $1 million, but I mean, whatever. Ta-da. Pretty good. Olive, pomegranate, and rice. How are we doing here, huh? Nice. They're probably still really hot. Yeah, look at that. Let's let it cool down. I do wish that we could have like a white tile block, you know? Just like this, but white. Look how good as a front fascia. Nice. So there we go, you know, it looks a little bit different. I was kind of worried that there'd be too much contrast or noise, but I like how that looks. And my thought is I could even chisel these blocks down here to remove some of the bricks, and maybe that would, you know, incorporate this a lot better. Maybe, perhaps. Or I take this and I chisel it up here, so there's a side trim of bricks. I think that that could be cool, but I mean, we have a lot of options available to us. We really do. All right, let's get these bricks out of here. Still smoking hot. Yeah. Want the black ones. Yeah. Whoa. 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 How do we turn this into roof blocks? Because I don't see the roof blocks. Wait. Oh no! Ah, I was supposed to do shingles. Ah, not bricks. I'm supposed to do shingles. Oh no! I know it was smart to leave a little extra blue clay. For goodness sakes. Yeah, so the difference between these and bricks, we've got to form these. We do 12 at a time, and, you know, I'm kind of curious. We have a black shingle. How many do we get? Looks like 3 shingles turn into 2 roof pieces. So, you know, we're going to get 8 from every single piece here, or every single one of these that I do, right? We'll get 8. And it requires 4 blue clay to get 8. So 1 for 2, right? So if I did all 3 stacks of this, I could get, I think, 6 stacks of roof blocks. Do I have that correct? And I really don't think I need that many, but maybe 2 stacks. I'll put some of this up. Okay. Well, that's 64. Okay, let the forminating begin. You might be thinking, Monster, there's an automatic clay forming mod. Yeah, but I don't see the devs incorporating that one. There you go. There's all the shingles. For some reason, I preserved 6 pieces of clay. I wonder if it's because like I was going between them and adding removing voxels. Maybe it just, you know, was inconsistent a few times. That took forever though. I mean, I had to put up my chickens in between. Feel like a vacuum cleaner. We're getting there. We're getting there, I promise. Alright, Huh, I guess theoretically I can just stack these really, really high. 2 stacked shingles fill up a block. Or was it 3? Hold on. Yeah, it is. My bad. I mean, it says right there, 192. There we go. And you know, this kind of makes me wish I had more bricks to fire in there, you know, for the amount of fuel that we're going to be putting in. But oh well. I do wonder, how many do we actually need? Before, I was putting 32 in each. But what if I only did 24? Just to save, you know? Let's check it out. Behold, the great wall of bricks. Okay, it's crunch time. Put these around real quick. Alright, so, I've got some glass here. Here's my plan with this. I need to get my wrench out. I'm going to work on this extension. We're going to make it out of glass and pine beams. So it's going to go like this. Just like that. Yeah, it's a little bit smaller than I expected. Maybe I should extend it a block, huh? Maybe I will. I like that I get the glass back. It's nice. There we go. Can I lock these horizontally? Yep. Oh no. I guess the question is, do I want to keep this glass as like with the frames and stuff? Or do I want to chisel it? If I chisel the glass, then it'll become transparent. All the, you know, these borders will disappear. Maybe the borders are a little ugly, but you're gonna hate me. But in the next update, the texture for these are changing. Can you believe it? Well, anyway, I don't really have a need to chisel this down, not yet, so I don't mind leaving it this way. The next kind of idea, I guess, is let's strip these down, chop them up, so that now we have support beams. Oh wait, I think I wanted to do pine, not maple. Well, how's it look? I think I did want to do pine. Whatever. Do I have pine? Yeah, I do. Maybe it really does need to be chiseled. It is a little noisy. So just like this, huh? Yeah, let's cut her down. Boom. I guess I gotta fill in these corners too, huh? Sun's coming up. Trying to think about the best way to like evenly distribute these. Maybe I should remove that one, huh? Reason being, it's just kind of like, it's too much in the wall. So if I hold control, say I go 4 pixels out. Yeah, nice. Pretty. That's complicated, man. Like, which one do I put this on? That's 2 voxels in. That's like 8 voxels in. 6.5 long each one. Each block's got 16 voxels. 96, 104. So there's 100 voxels between these two. So I could just place one at 50, and that'd be half. I don't know, man. Right there. That's my guess. Oh, not quite centered. More? Nope, not enough. How about this? Whoa, wait. Is that it? Nice. So I'm pretty sure that's the center of that. Is that this center or close to this center? I think those are like evenly spaced. I don't know. Oh, I'm starving. That is really hard to tell. I don't know. I really need more lanterns. Firing for 36 hours. What? Why would it say firing for 36 hours? Does that mean that's as long as it's like been used? Or how much it's been put in use? And it, you know, it hasn't degraded yet. That's nice. I guess it's tracking the amount of time I've used it. Alright, you know the drill. Can I just mine this? Yep. Okay, here we go. I think objectively wood is probably a better resource for roofs. If you want this like cool slanted roof shape. But I think that the shingles have like these 4 steps, whereas the wood has 3. I don't know. What? My monitor turned off. So wood's renewable. Just makes sense that that would be a better, you know, better choice. Of course, we're going for looks here. Going for style points. Okay, and then I can... There we go. Wait, I can just... No? I can't turn that with a wrench. There we go. Good to know. Oh no, did I do this wrong? I did. Yeah, it's the right half. Can I put that on the left? Why can't I craft it into a left half? That doesn't make sense. Why can't I just craft it into the left-facing one if I want to? Oh, now I gotta waste more. Yeesh. Maybe I'll have another use for it someday, huh? Crap. So this is why the one roof mod makes so much sense for this game, right? Or the VS roofing mod, I think it's called now. But apparently it's just incomplete, or it doesn't really work. I know there's a rift right there, but I just want to get this done. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Ah, he shot from over there. Excuse me. Ooh. Nice. Oh. Ah. He's got good aim. Okay, look, I did the framing for the windows finally. So what's interesting, I placed this 2 voxels over so that the whole thing was sticking out. Technically, all I had to do, since these were originally 1.5 block increments of space between each post, I just had to reduce each increment by 0.5 because there's, of course, 4 of them. I mean, here to here. But you can't do that. So you can only do by 1. So like between here and here is 25 voxels, and then between here and here, between here and here is 26. That's 25. That's 26. And it's so subtle, you know, you don't really notice. But over here, I was able to have an even amount every single time. So that's cool, right? The level of detail is so high that you can kind of achieve something like that. It's worth it. I mean, I'd like to show you my roof. I get a better light up there. It really kind of needs to be in the daytime. I mean, from what I understand here, I can't really get an end piece. The shingle roof bottom doesn't quite work that way. Like it just kind of sits on the bottom. So I don't really get that luxury. I could do this, but that would be weird. You know, because you have that bottom, I'm pointing at it, the bottom part. So this is how it's gonna look for now. The next question is like, what do I do for the roof here, huh? I keep it the same? Do I do black? I don't really know. I should probably just go to bed and look at it during the day. Whoa, cool. You know something, I know that that's not a chimney. It kind of gives me the assumption of a chimney, or like the impression of a chimney, and that makes me think a chimney would be cool. How cool would like an automatic light system be, huh? I mean, granted, you don't really need it. Lanterns are on all the time, and you don't really see them in the day because it's light out, right? But imagine night comes, and you can just flick a switch, and all these lights turn on. Some kind of primitive form of technology. I don't feel like you'll be able to make a light bulb, so it doesn't seem like it'll round out to the game very well. But it would be cool. My thought here is, let's use a different type of wood, maybe a darker type of wood. I feel like oak would be the best. And we'll strip it and then run it all the way around the edge, chisel it down, and then we're gonna have some kind of roof block. I guess it'll also be this. Let's get her done. You know, we don't have oak, actually. Redwood looks like this. It's kind of nice looking. Wait, birch. Don't have oak. Let's entertain this. This is the part of the video where I debate over wood colors for a half hour. The thought is, do I go darker to match the roof, or do I go lighter to match the building? That's really pink. Freaking monitor turned off again. That's really light. So maybe we stick with either maple or oak, I think. Let's try maple first, since I know where to at least get some of that. You got any? Dude, why couldn't I pick that up? Why couldn't I open it? That's what I meant. Whatever. Oh, we've got a little bit. Alright, let's deglove the tree. Not bad. I mean, I guess the colors are just like competing, you know? Clashing. Maybe that's the better word. Maybe I really should just do pine. My thought was to chisel this down and then add like a roof block onto it of some sort. Have a really gradual slope with the roof. But yeah, I guess we should stick with pine. Kind of like being able to hear the crickets. Yeah, that's so much better. Of course, I don't have enough. I don't have to do a roof. I mean, I don't have to do a peaked roof. I could just do this. Yeah, maybe it doesn't need a roof. Maybe this is fine. I mean, I'm gonna put a roof. I'm just saying maybe it doesn't need to be a peaked roof like this. Maybe it can just stand alone like this does. I wouldn't mind that at all. I kind of had a thought, what if I gouged out this center a little bit with chisel? Let's try it. Like that. It's kind of neat. Now, what do we do about this end? I heard that there is a way, you know, to preserve rotations in a block. I wonder if I could use that to cover the end of this. I can't add it. Now, if I turn this into a chisel block... Nope. Yeah, doesn't add. That's a shame. That means it's gotta be... I gotta get rid of that one. Replace this one. And you know what? That's way easier. And the underside of this will just be like that, and that's okay. Yeah, the upwards grain texture is kind of cool. Yeah, it is a little cool. There's a little character, huh? Okay, skipping a little bit ahead here. I did a little bit more work of this on a live stream on my Discord. I usually try to do like a live stream on my Discord every week, like on Fridays, if you're interested. Anyway, I think this is looking way more snazzy, so I did end up incorporating the maple into this build in a way that I think actually looks good and doesn't clash. See, it's a little bit in there, inside this pine. So I think this looks really good. I think it looks really good. Oh, I forgot this side, oops. There we go. So as you can maybe see, all this debarked pine is facing up, and before it was turned to the side. And I couldn't rotate it. Like once it's chiseled, the only thing that you're rotating when you're rotating it is what's being chiseled and not the texture. So it would stay a sideways texture no matter what I did. I had to throw them all away. But you know, pine's cheap. And look at this facade here. I think this looks really good. I even have a little bit of a trim here with the cream bricks on the side. And I want to do that to the rest of the building. I think that'd be cool. Let's go inside here. We use birch for the floor. What's the perfect color? And then in here, I had to chisel these underneath. It's half, you know, wood and half grass. These ones I have to leave exposed. I need them to grow grass before I chisel them, because if I don't, then they'll just be dirt forever on the other side. And then I kind of added a slope on the interior here. Thought it would be cool. And it is. Maple roof here as well. I think this place is looking really, really good. Oh yeah, and I chiseled a side texture for this. I don't think I did it for the other side yet. Nope. There we go. Do want to try something. Where's my elk? Bro. I really wish that there was a half overhang block for this, but there's not. I thought though, maybe it would look good if I just did the normal roof overhang. Maybe. Like that. I guess it's kind of hard to tell without the extra, but I like it so far, actually. Now, though, I feel like this doesn't extend far enough out, because it's being covered, you know? A little bit strange. Come here, dude. Come on. Come on. Oops. There we go. Whoop. I feel like that is kind of what I want. Yeah, it is. And these need to be left facing. Yep. Ah. There we go. That looks good. Yeah, I like that. So let's go over, I guess, what needs to happen next. I do want to decorate the exterior of this building. Like, I'd like to have this large cream brick trim running on every corner. I also want windows, but I wanted to use these leaded glass panes. The question is, do we use maple? Or do we use pine? I feel like probably pine would be better. We need a lead ingot, glass, and then these pine boards to make that happen. So I want a few of those around. You know, or should we do like ebony or aged or something to match the roof? That's a tough one, actually. I don't know. My guess was pine because like this is giant windows, that's pine. Anyway, I want those. We're gonna chisel some trim on it. We need this front porch. I don't really know what the blocks are gonna be made out of here. I was thinking claystone just because we have so much of it, but I was even wondering if I should run all the way to some of these ruins around here and pinch some of the special aged blocks that they offer. They have unique textures you can't get anywhere else, and it might be cool to work with. Either that, or in the back here. What else do I want to do? I want to chisel, you know, an arch here. I want to chisel these into pillars and arches as well. Back here, I need to like tear up all this grass and replace it with packed dirt or brick of some kind. And then I want a wall. And I already know what I want to do for the wall. I have a design in mind here. I want to use the clinker bricks. So that means we need to fire even more blue bricks. From what I understand about clinker bricks, they're just overcooked bricks, right? So I feel like I should be able to recycle old bricks into clinker bricks. It would make sense to me, right? If I, you know, I have too many black bricks, I got too many red bricks, like I can just throw them in there again, cook them even harder and get a clinker brick. But maybe not, you know, maybe that would cause them to shatter. Whatever it is, I'm glad that this thing isn't broken yet. I really don't know how many we're gonna need, so I don't think I can just break it. It's a pretty cool little device. I'd hope they had more stuff like this. I don't know what it would be, but it's fun. There's also a coke oven. Coke is like a special kind of coal you let burn without oxygen or something. That way it can reach a higher temperature. Now, I do want to build one of those for the forge. I think that'd be pretty cool. Is this everything? That's all the blue bricks I got. And then I have these raw red bricks. Let's take a look here. With 3 doors open, it turns into brown bricks. Brown bricks. 3 doors open, this one turns into a clinker brick. Yeah, why not? Maybe the brown bricks will look good. We've got a little bit of room in here. So what happens if I make something like this blue clay planter? Okay, so 2 doors is black, 3 doors is also black. That's interesting, there's no clinker variant. I guess that makes sense. And then we'll get a brown ceramic planter. Why not, you know, why don't we try making something? Let's make a brown planter. Here's a little tip. I use the 3x3 voxel spread here just for faster voxel placement. And then I just remove like that. And then you can copy the rest. Okay, that'll get us a brown planter. And then, you know, maybe, what can I make with this one? I don't have enough blue clay for storage vessel. Oops. No, I don't have enough for that. Dang it. Got enough for a planter, the perfect amount. So we'll have a brown and black planter, I guess. Okay, cool. Here's a thought. We did 24 last time. So what happens if we just do 20? You know what I mean? Okay, 20 all the way around. Weird that it just stopped giving off light. I think a piece of grass was on fire over here, but it's weird that these don't give off light. Oh, I'm out of food again. Surprising. I have 1 bar of lead, you know, and that'll get us like what, 1 window? No, it'll get us 4. It's not bad. A little more though than that. Do we have any galena? I'm sure I just have like passively collected a lot of it. Yep. That's not even at all. There we go. So if I was wise, I would prime that fire with a little bit of log, right? And then we switch to the coal. You know, there's a lot of coal in them hills back there. Mostly brown coal, though. There was some black coal deposits under the castle, actually. But yeah, if we had that coke oven I was talking about earlier, we could turn this brown coal into like really good coal, right? Coke burns at, oh, 1340. I thought it was 1240. Dang. Look at that, it's already going. Oh yeah, I guess lead has a very low melting point. That's why it's good for windows, maybe? You know, lead is like a really useful and important material despite its health benefits. It's why it's used for solder so much, because it melts at such a low temp. Where I used to build circuit boards and I wouldn't use lead solder because I didn't want to breathe it in. I used no clean solder. And that's like tin and nickel and something else. I don't really totally remember. A lot of flux as well. It wasn't as good, you know? Didn't flow as well. Needed to get a little hotter. I bet you the residual heat from that one piece of coal will be enough. Okay. Kind of weird watching them fill up at such a low temperature. Usually they're glowing hot. Alright, well I'll give that some time. A little foggy today. Alright, time to get the Chiseling. Alright, how's this going? Oh, they're not done. It needs to stay above a certain temperature for a certain amount of time, right? Was it 9 hours? Why is that one fired for longer? I don't know. Maybe I'll just let it sit. You know, maybe it's just on the cusp of being done. I don't really remember what I said earlier about it, but anyway. Here's my thought for in here. I want to chisel this into pillars or something, and then I want the trim to be these creamy bricks. Primitive cream bricks. Okay. Just a light rain. No clouds, though. Do I have clouds turned off? Yeah, I have them turned off. So they should appear, right? Yep. There they are. I had clouds off the whole video. I turned them off probably to make a thumbnail of some kind. Are we out of cream bricks? No. I got a stack back here. A very small stack. Now, there's no slab version of these. The only slabs you can make from cream bricks is this. And it's got that kind of like soldier bond or whatever it's called. This one, soldier bond. There's no running bond cream slab. You have to chisel it. You don't have a choice. Which is a shame, but it's okay, really. So this will be pricey. Okay. I think it can be efficient like this, maybe. I think I can afford to do this in like really small increments. Because if you look, if I switch to 4x4x4, then you kind of have like the size of these bricks. Huh, see, there's that, but you know... That's better. Yeah, that's a lot better. Ta-da! Simple arches, I like it. So then I guess now the question is, like, I need to start replacing these. Then we're gonna see what we get. I should have used QP's chisel. That just allows me to paste over. Like that, huh? Maybe it should be thicker. That's better, I think. I like listening to the crickets when I'm working in the rain. It's actually kind of atmospheric. There we go. That looks pretty snazzy. Like, I have a weird thought. What if I shrunk all these down in... Ooh, huh? That's cool. Just by a pixel. Just by a hair. But dang, does that look good, huh? Now I kind of wonder if I do it out here. Ooh, not bad. Not bad. And then I wanted this to be a big arch. Run out of bricks, man. Running out of bricks. Let's check on these. Ah, man. Should be able to put 3 in every slot. No. 2 in every slot. Let's try it. Why aren't you lighting, man? Don't tell me that's like not enough. It isn't. Huh. Yeah, I had to add 2 more to light it. It's It's probably not going to get it done. It's probably not, because it's going to have to take time to heat back up. There we go. I don't really know what I'm going to put underneath here. Figure it out later, I guess. But let's do the arch. Add in some of this. I have to go get more blue clay. Just for that little bit of detail, but it's really cool looking. I guess it is different on this side, huh? That's okay, though. I think... Oh, this is gonna be pricey. I don't have enough. Yeah. I don't have enough. Let's at least get the general shape of the arch. That's good shape. That's good shape. Need more bricks. Need a lot more bricks there. Need to get the clickers. Need more blue clay. Need to get more white bricks. Look at them go, huh? Yeah, yes, just more material runs. Alright, I think that's the last of it. Elkrum's got some. That was my last known deposit of blue clay anywhere near here. So if I want to go looking again, I'm gonna have to search the old-fashioned way. Or at least hope I stumble across some on the map. I really feel like that's enough. I feel like we'll be good, though. Right here, it's a pretty cool ruin. Now, this is limestone cobblestone, but I wonder if we can get a cooler block than just that, huh? My shovel broke. That's why I'm back to the Stone Age. Cool. Anything underneath there worth looking for? Ooh, hey, look at that. Dry stone. Ooh. Alright. Limestone, dry stone. I've actually got a decent amount of that. But it's kind of a pain to craft. Aged torch holder. Nice. Is there actually anything down here worth grabbing? Okay, well, literally nothing worth grabbing down here. There's got to be other ruins around here, right? There's one. I know that there's a pretty huge ruined city over here. Opposite side of the mountain, in front of the house. Ran across some here. Excuse me, I'm talking. But look, because this one is like a chiseled block, I won't get that. I'll just get rocks. This one is normal. That's a single aged sandstone ashlar block. Is there any more underneath there? Probably not. You know, there used to be supposedly way more pyramids in Egypt, but like treasure hunters would go down there and just blow them up for the stuff inside. That's kind of what I feel like I'm doing right now. Well, that wasn't worth it. I see some ruins over there. Oh! I don't even know if I'm going to use these. This one's got a lot. So is there a basement? Not that I can see. What about this guy here? Looks kind of just like the one we were just at. So maybe there'll be a basement in this one as well. Ooh. Ta-da! Look, this one's got a cracked vessel. With rye grain. Cool. This is sandstone, dry stone. I guess I might as well grab it. Oh, here's some. Oh, this is granite. What? Does not look like granite. That doesn't look like granite at all. This is sandstone. And this is granite? They're the same color. Huh? Is it because they're like weird chiseled blocks or something? That might be why. It looks like they're taking on the color of sandstone. Look, I got sandstone from that, not granite. What the heck, man? That's sandstone, but like the chiseled ones say granite. So weird. There is a little bit of aged polished rock here. About over here. Anything special? Nope. Oh, there's some over there, huh? Oh, nice. Oh, wait. One more? Uh-huh. Yeah, it looks like nothing here. What do you think? I guess I'm curious if these are actually done or not. Ah. And look at that. So they used to have like how long they're being fired for on here, but now they don't. Does that mean that they reset? If they reset, that means I have to do this all over again, which is a shame because I'm trying to get things going here. When I was younger, like a teenager, used to watch Mumbo Jumbo, his Hermitcraft videos, and like sometimes in his Hermitcraft videos, he'd be like, "All right, I don't have a lot of time. I just need to push really hard and I'll get this done or whatever." And I didn't really get that because I'm like, "You just play Minecraft, right?" But now I do get it. Now I do get it. I am kind of running out of time for this video, so hopefully I'll get everything I want to done. Please work. Okay, behind here is that huge city that I was talking about. But you know what else is behind this mountain? Is this giant dark chunk. And I don't know what the heck is wrong with it. When I first settled these lands, this was here. And it's never gone away. It's never updated, nothing. I mean, placing torches didn't fix it, nothing. Still rains in here, right? I think I can fix this. It looks like it is a cubic chunk, I guess. Anyway, I think if I stand here and I do debug chunk relight. Hey, let there be light. That fixed it. Yeah, that's been there for like months. This guy's getting a pretty nice rack. Look at that. 6 point. Good for you, buddy. All right, so over here, there's our ancient city. Ooh. What's down here? Spelt seeds? More spelt? Oh, that's right. Nothing down here that's like really useful to me. There's the dry stone, but I can actually make that, so let's look for things that we can't make. It's aged sandstone ashlar. Got more bony soil over here. More ashlar. Ooh, polished rock. Nice. It's good stuff, man. Look at this right here, though, okay? This is limestone, I guess. But look, we have aged polished rock here. A lot of it. And aged ashlar. I mean, this is a really good find. You know something I never noticed? It looks like a foot. That looks like a foot. So this is like an ancient statue? I always just thought it was a weird structure, but this it's like an ancient statue. It's like feet. Which begs the question, where's the rest of the statue? Anyway, I guess I'm gonna break this up here. My statue now. This might be what we need. I feel like more vines and bushes should grow on ruins. Remember my last video? You can't build like this in Minecraft, kind of provocative. Like I added a tiny bit of detail to the build for the thumbnail. I added like some bushes around it. You can't actually move bushes like that in this game. It'd be cool if you could. I guess it doesn't really make sense. Oh, hey, look at that. Oh, Barclay. But I mean, it'd be cool if ruins had that kind of stuff on it. I think it helps with the immersion. Oh, nice. Oh, a little bit of bony soil. A lot of bony soil. You know, I ordered a book from the library. I placed an order for it like weeks ago. I haven't ordered a book in a long time. But like, there's a library system, there's a district library system near me. And you know, I'm like, I'll just order it to the one closest to me. But it's been weeks. And this library I ordered it to is like only open 2 days out of the week. I should have just gone to the library. I mean, at least I would have had it by now, for goodness sakes. The book I was getting, it's The Last Kingdom by Bernard Cornwell. And The Last Kingdom was made into a TV show, or a Netflix show, right? That's where I originally heard of it, and I watched it. I liked the show a lot. I was thinking about rewatching it because it's been a while. But then I thought to myself, why not read the book? I'd like to read something instead of watch something for once. I haven't done that in a while. But it's taken forever. Today is one of the only days they're open. And it still says that it's in transit. I guess I should call them, say like maybe they got it and the website isn't updated or something. Okay, cool. Look, more of this. Not bad. This is a big building here. Giant building like this has got to have a basement of some kind. Right? Maybe. Look at all the bony soil. Goodness. Oh. I see something. Dang, look at that. Wow. What a jackpot. Too bad I don't, like, have any room for any of this. Oh. That one was intact. Dark brown ceramic. I mean, I've already got one of these. Ooh. And then a planter. And look, this is a special one. These kind of design planters or ceramic vessels, whatever, can only be found at ruins, so taking that. Pretty slick find. So, you're gonna hate me. Nothing happened. I think it's because I left this door open. Yeah, looks, this door must be closed for firing. I came back here, this door was open. Can you believe that? Oh my gosh. Alright, look, we're not sparing any expense this time, okay? 24 under each, then we're calling it good. Please. Alright, well, you know, it's not exactly nice and bright out, but let's try something. I forgot I left all my mortar back at the base. Look at this, I just went to take a nap, and it's done. They're all done. These bricks are clinking, and we've got quite a bit left here. But I think, you know, I just fired it so many times, I guess maybe it's just messed up. Boom. Alright, planter. Let's grab these guys. Come here. These planters, I'll just set these here for now. But that could be shopware. Whoop. Here's a quick way to do this. You take a little bit of damage, but it is faster. It's getting a little lighter out. Stack these suckers up. So look, next we want the cream bricks again. And I don't know how many we need. Probably not many. No doors are open, gets cream bricks. What about... Looks like we get a tan brick for no doors being open for the red ones. Let's do that. Let's make both. Ow. I see you now. I see you. I'll shove these suckers in here first. Then all these. As many as I can. Since there's still a lot of space in here, how about let's go grab some more clay. I put the storage vessel down out here. Just make a little bit of room. Let's make a planter of each color. Just like how we did before. So this will give us a white planter and a tan planter. Ta-da! Alright, let's put those in there. And we can also make some fun stuff, right? Why not make some bowls, I guess. Use the same trick with the 3x3 clay to do this really fast. And you just take out the middle. Boom. Got 2 more slots in here. Now, Elcrum's got some blue clay on him. I'd like to have white storage vessels. I think that would be cool. So let's make 2 of them. Okay. Yeesh. 2 of these suckers. Let's see what we can do. Okay. Nice. Now, I did have a bit of a question for out here, right? As in, what block should I use? I wanted to have a patio, and I wanted to have, like, maybe chairs out here. Maybe a bench instead would be better. And then a planter, like, spots for flowers. I actually picked some flowers earlier for this. So I have aged polished limestone. We got sandstone. Doesn't seem like it's going to be the right color. Limestone dry stone, limestone ashlar. That's kind of like what we have the most of. And of course, we've also got red brick, which is totally different. But I am curious how that'll look, right? So well as brown brick. I don't have a shovel. Don't have a spare either. You know what is cool? Let's just take a second here. It's looking pretty good. I like how there's more buildings here now finally, right? Isn't that neat? Alright, let's dig this sucker out. Guess let's try the bricks first. Not bad. Kinda goes with the limestone. Or red ones. Ooh, red. From what I can tell, the red bricks probably don't go with any of these. And then there's the fact that, like, there's so many bricks here. I kind of want to use larger tile blocks. So, like, polish blocks. That's why we have this aged polish stuff and the ashlar. But I kind of would like it to be a different color than the building. And then there's diamond patterned stone tile. You have light, dark, and regular. And that looks really cool. Depending on, like, the kind of rock that you use, you get different color. Oh yeah, and the clinker bricks. I think I have what you could consider a pretty good plan for these. Ooh, lightning. Let's grab a let's grab a stack of them. This one takes a little bit of mortar. This one takes a little bit of mortar. Okay, we need both. Here's my thought. This beautiful pattern like that. I take this, shave it in half, and then I guess I'm gonna push it so it's somewhat centered. Let's add in large clinker bricks, like this. This may not be where I end up putting it, but just for the example, right? Okay. Kinda like this is my thought, and then I was gonna have this end in like an arch of some kind. And this goes out to here. I guess the question is like, how many posts I'm gonna have? That's always the question, isn't it? Let's make some more. There we go. Add some there. So I guess it's just counting, right? No, that's not right. Oh no, my pickaxe. I need another one of them. Yep, need to spend some time thinking about how that's gonna all line up. So, I did a live stream. It was a bit of a surprise because I wasn't done with this video. And I really didn't want to not release a video for 2 weeks in a row. So I did a surprise live stream. And in that live stream, I put the roof on that tower over there and I switched out the logs from ebony to maple. And it took a very long time, about 3 hours. And I don't like the roof. The pitch is too low. I made inner and outer corner slate blocks to make that happen. I know how I have to fix it, but that's not my priority at the moment. More progress has been made here as well. I guess the first thing is, take a look at this patio, huh? I think this turned out really cool. Made this little bit in the middle, the header bond, smaller tan bricks. I used tan bricks all throughout here, but then you see some here and there that are like dark. That's because I chiseled and put brown bricks. Because I don't know, I wanted to really detail it. I replaced some of it with these little teeny ones. I thought that was cool. So, you know, there's a lot of detail put into this, and then it's surrounded by the aged polished rock, the limestone. I think it fits really well. I really like that patio. And in here, I added trusses, and it actually took like hours because I was just chilling and just working out where exactly these trusses are supposed to be. So I made these custom trusses, and for whatever reason, they're dark at the top, and it really bothers me, but it is what it is, I guess. Maybe better lighting in here would fix that. I use the multigraph to copy patterns, and that seems to create lighting errors, and I wonder if there's lighting errors I just wasn't able to fix. I don't really know, but there's the trusses. This one's done as well, looking good, inside and outside. And then this wall is done. Let's actually go to the outside to take a look at that. This is the wall design. Actually, you know what? No, it's not done. I was making this cool design here. Thought this was pretty cool. And then I was taking these little peaks and I was shaving them down into a triangle. So I guess I forgot to do these ones. If you look here, between the pillars outside is not even either. This hole is a little bit different from this hole. I don't know if you could tell. Maybe that's easier to tell here. This one's a little bit less wide. It was just the way that I got this to work out. Well, anyway, next steps. Gotta shave those down, finish that up. This exterior needs to be done up in a way that I like, as well as the exterior of this thing. I need to put all these bricks away in like a better suitable position. Though I would like a pile of coal out here, just because it would be helpful. I want an awning here as well. The interior still needs to be furnished. Oh yeah, look, I made a lot more bits of pottery here. That's fine. There's another thing that I kind of would like to be done. So let me tell you my philosophy on this build so far, okay? I think it looks good, but after building this outer fence, I realize that this front area being kind of like brown really throws it off. I'm wondering if I need to adjust the color palette, because this is mostly, monochrome, right? Whereas that's pretty vibrant compared to everything else. I wonder if I should switch out all this pine for walnut. I'll keep the inside the same, but I think I should switch all the pine for walnut, because it would just match everything better. Here's the other thing. If I do that, then this building is going to be like way more drab looking. At least it'll be consistent, but it'll be more colorless. And I wanted this shop, I mean, the vision I had for my mind was like it would be bright and more welcoming. So I think that the best way to counteract that kind of drabness that it'll have is to just put plants everywhere, add greenery. I think that'll do it. So like perhaps fruit trees, definitely flowers, planters. I think that'll really, really, really help. And then I think the last thing I wanted to have here was windows. That's something we can do right now. Since I'm going to be switching to walnut, I'm going to make walnut rimmed windows. I think I've got some walnut slabs up here maybe. Could also do ebony. I could. I guess we'll just see how it looks with the walnut. Look, a little deer. Bye-bye. Okay, we need this lead. Haven't got any... Well, I got walnut logs. That's good enough. So I think it's like this. Yay! Made quite a bit of those. So I think like here... Now these are all chiseled blocks, so I can't really reclaim them. But here... Ooh. That looks nice. I wonder if we did 3 windows, though. That looks pretty good, too. How does it look from the inside? Ooh, that's cool. I guess my problem with it is that, like, it's right up against the wall, and I prefer it not to be. Three tall windows. I like those. That looks pretty good. And now that they're done, I can decorate this even further. Chiseling and stuff like that I think would be pretty cool. Thankfully, this is pretty inexpensive. Wish there was something I could do with all these chiseled blocks I rack up, I like how that looks, though, it kind of... I mean, the truss is a little bit in the way. Or it should be lower. I think I like how it looks on the outside, so no, it shouldn't be lower. Just is what it is. Yeah, I like that a lot. I also like how it really does look like an old building, right? Like an old building that some hipster bought, right? And then tried to make more modern with this extension here. Like this window style and that window style. They really work together. But yeah, that just has to change. It has to change color. We're going to try it. Again, I wish I could do something with these, I'm going to have like a giant storage room in my castle just for chiseled blocks that I have no use for. Okay, so, I bet I have debarked walnut back at the house. It is what it is, though, huh? Look, this is a really simple shape. I take this, okay, replace it with the debarked walnut. Let's give her a spin. Now I'm going to chisel this. Let's chisel it to be the same as these other ones. No shortcuts. Okay. Well, maybe aged log would be better. Okay, but the thought is, like, if I don't like this, I can switch it back pretty easily. All I've got to do is paste material. Like this. I guess I can't do the maple in the back there, but whatever. It's hard to tell if that's the color that I want for this. I mean, what if it was birch? Oh god, I'm doing this again. What if it was birch to match the slabs in here, huh? Or larch, or oak, or ebony, or aged log. I'm gonna worry about that later. Look, there's one more thing. There is one more thing I want to do. It has to do with the exterior here. So my thought is that the ground out here should also have some kind of tile or brick. I don't really think that the options available to us will do it justice. Kind of my problem. Everything is brick here. I'd like something different. What I really would like are these kinds of tile patterns that you can have with these. I like this. I mean, I like that kind of pattern, the four tiles per block. But that's the only variant it exists for, so we have an option. I can use chiseling to create my own version, and I'm going to. I have a design picked out that I made in a creative world, and it requires, I think, slate, gravel, which I believe I should have a decent amount of, granite rock, which I don't think I have any of that, limestone rock, which I have plenty of, and then weathered brown daub. Now, weathered brown daub, it just happened to be the very perfect color, and I looked for alternatives for a while, but it's too good. I can't not use it. I'll tell you why, okay? This is weathered brown wattle and daub. This is like perfect looking for this. There's a problem, okay? And it's that the only way that we can get weathered brown daub is with chert sand or phyllite sand. Where the heck is phyllite sand? I've never seen phyllite ever in any worlds I've ever made, in any servers I've ever been to. I've never seen phyllite anywhere. I do know where we can get some chert. Okay, it's actually not terribly far. There's chert here. I made sure to mark it because it's kind of like unique to this world. It's not often I find it. So there's chert like around this area. This might even be a chert sand desert, which would make it really easy to do. I believe this lake is actually, I think, like really pretty from what I remember. I don't know if it is chert sand. I'll have to take a look. That's our mission. It's nighttime, so let's get the granite rock first. Should be some in here. Oh. Below the claystone layer, I know there's at least andesite. We don't want andesite, though. Excuse me. Oh, man. On granite, not andesite. Ow. Maybe I should download a combat mod. That could be fun. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, but by the way, like if you want to watch that live stream, all the VODs are saved to my YouTube channel, so you can watch it. Just another live tab, I guess. No granite. Something, take it for granted. Ow. You know something, I was really chilling when I was working on the beams and the finer details of that place. We had several calm nights in a row, and I wasn't listening to anything. Sometimes I listen to music. I had no music on. I was just enjoying it. And it was like relaxing, you know. It just reminded me. It was almost like I was playing Animal Crossing, working out the tiny, fine details of that build. No monsters bothering me, but now we're back to jumping in caves. No granite there. I can't remember if there's some underneath my house, but you know what? I bet there's some over here. No, it's andesite. Ah. What about over here, huh? Andesite again. Maybe we can get further down. This is a brown coal area. Excuse me. Still andesite. Did I clear this out? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. Still andesite. Hi. Begs the question, where the heck did I get the granite before? Did I just use andesite? I think with andesite, it's like kind of blue. Not just a weird color for this. If it were daytime, it would certainly aid me better in this search. You know, there is that translocator there. Forgot where that takes me. See, I put a little blue symbol. It's over here. Oh, it might be. Look at that. There's a little clay shaft. I left the torch on over there. We really need light sources. That's the other thing. I mean, I haven't found very many beehives I could just run around and bust up around here. That is an option, right? I could run around. I could just destroy some beehives. Yeah, I guess there's a few. And then get the wax and then turn that into candles. Or I could pan. You know, if you pan bony soil, you do get a chance of getting a candle. So I could just do that. And we can make more lanterns. Let's go to bed. I made a wooden bed because you can sleep slightly longer in this. And it is approaching winter. You never know it, but it's December. So yeah, that building, I've been working on it for like half a year. I hit 300 hours. I finally did. While I was working on the trusses inside that building, I did. It looks really good from over here, man. I just need to get rid of those giant piles of bricks. And look at this. Man, it's impressive. Wish I could keep his sheds later on, but he's a 10 point now. Wow. All right, at the end of this little pond, this is where it is. It's right here. Okay. Oh wait, I never fixed this? I never fixed it. I thought I had used it before. I must have used a translocator. I guess never that one. Really thought I fixed it. Okay, fine. That walnut does look better, like from a distance. I do like that better. I do wonder if oak, though, would be better, just because it's like, still has a little bit of hue. It's not so washed out looking. Okay, I need a certain amount of these. Elkrum's wearing temporal gears, so I'll take those. If I could get him on top of the translocator, he could come with me, but that would be kind of pointless, huh? You know something? Look at that. Looks like the bottom was all andesite, but the top is granite. Okay, if this fails, we'll dry that out. By the way, where I live, the weather has just been fantastic. The air is finally, like, different. You know, the air is finally summer air. Like, humid a little bit. I love it. Alright, here we go. Crowded, huh? Hey, look what I found. Where the heck are we, man? The responsible thing to do would be to mark this, right? With blue. Match the same color. Our house is quite a ways. Wow. That's 1,030,900. And this is... Wow. We're about 6,000 blocks away, roughly, on both axes. Got anything for me? Ooh. Ooh, nice, nice. Well, over here. Nice. Let's take a sample. This isn't a bad spot either. I mean, I know we're probably pretty deep underground. Looks like 46. But it's not a bad spot because there's not like a huge room full of monsters, right? It's kind of what I would like to avoid. Ultra high pentlandite. Have I ever gotten that high of a reading of pentlandite ever? So yeah, if I want that night vision mask, that's all I gotta do. Anyway, let me show you a fun trick. Since this block that we're gonna make is going to be chiseled, and it's going to be granite, we can save ourselves a little bit of effort. You know that we, in order to obtain a granite rock, I've got to break all of the blocks around it. Well, if I right-click it with a chisel and hammer, turn it into a chisel block, I think you could probably see where I'm going with this. You can just break it just like that, and you'll get it, right? So since we're chiseling with it, we're decorating with it, this is way more efficient for us. Now, we can't craft these into anything. We can't polish them. We can't, you know, turn them into ashlar blocks. None of that. But this works exactly well for our purposes. Okay, look, I can't resist. Supposedly, there's pentlandite down here. I just kind of like was mining, and I bust into this other cave. There's a bunch of boatorns, so I chased them. And I took a sample, and look, pentlandite, supposedly somewhere. Did I keep this cracked granite? Yeah, not that I want to, but it's there. Very large amounts, we're getting close. I actually have no idea what this is supposed to look like. Alright. Are huge and very large, which one's bigger than the other? That's large. Okay, well, I'm gonna assume huge is where we want to go. Is it above us? It is. Okay, yeah, it is huge. Nickel ore. Kinda curious. Nickel is like this really white metal. It's pretty cool looking. We can make a plate, you know, but we can't make a lantern with it, which is a shame, because how cool would a nickel lantern, like a pure white lantern, look? That's too bad. Wish you could make lanterns with every metal. I mean, why not, right? Whoa, whoa, whoa! Yeah. Scared me, dude. Good thing I've got these bandages. Sun's coming up somewhere. I actually don't remember where it rises from. Next thing we gotta do is get the chert. And it's a bit of a ways, but you know, it's kind of a scenic journey Seems like the best way to get there. Up through here. Oh, excuse me. I'll just show you. Hey, there we are. Chert sand. That's what we needed. And look at that. Boom. Easy peasy. Now the rock is really a cool color too. I bet it would go well with red or brown bricks. Now that I'm thinking about it. Ta-da! And that looks quite nice. They're like giant brown bricks. On my way back, you know, there are these massive oak trees just everywhere. I did say I wanted to try oak, so figured I'd chop one of these suckers. Have I ever done this? I feel like I've chopped one of these gigantic trees once. It's really satisfying because they're so freaking huge. Come on. Come on. Whoa! Oh, oh crap. I don't know if I could transport this all home. My frames have dropped because of how many items. Oh man, how wasteful. I can't take it all with me, but I can at least replant one. Man, what a waste. Okay, I finally got all the blocks I want for this very specific stone tile pattern. This is how we're going to do this. We're going to start with the chiseled granite rock that I got earlier. The next thing, I'm going to switch to 1 by 1. I'm going to go all the way around this edge. If you've ever made pixel art, it's kind of like that. I'm going to go down this edge, slightly in the middle, cross it here. Cool. Now I'm going to push it down one. Maybe this isn't the most convenient way to do it, but it works. Align this edge with that slate gravel. I'm going to extend it all the way across. Crap, it's getting dark. Okay, so the next way that I'm going to do this, I guess I got to think about where the sun rises from. It usually rises from over there-ish and then sets that direction. It depends on the time of year. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to add limestone rock to this. And then this side of every single square tile, I'm going to add this limestone rock. Just like that. Maybe you can see where I'm going. Okay, the last detail, the very last detail here, is that weathered brown daub. So the recipe was chert sand, medium, some kind of soil, clay, and grass of some kind. Not that's too much, but whatever. I'm gonna take my wattle fence, turn it to a full block, mine it, and then we're gonna add this to the block here on the opposite side of the limestone corner. Maybe you can see what I'm doing here now. It's almost like I'm creating the illusion of a bright side and a shadowed side. It's kind of a pixel art technique. There's one more thing we can do. What do we do at the corners where the limestone and the weathered brown meet? Well, we just replace that with granite. It's the middle ground color. It actually works pretty well. And there you go. So look, if you look at this from a distance, that looks like a pretty convincing stone tile, I think. Now, if you notice, every voxel at the smallest increment is 2 by 2 pixels. We can't get any smaller than that. Maybe if we could do something even cooler. Make some more of these. I'm gonna copy everything there, and paste it, and look, you can see it tiles quite well. Yeah. Now the fireflies are very pretty. Now if I have a huge patio made of this, you can even get a little extra creative and maybe combine some of those into larger tiles just for fun. But that's basically the design principle of that. All that effort just for this specific block. I really, really looked. I really, really looked. Oh, he came out of the tree. I looked for a better block to make that shadow with, but the weathered brown daub was really just the best one. This is weird, man. There we go. Bedtime. Look at that. It's just not turning dark. Look at the stars. Well, I'm pretty sure this is the entire finished exterior. I don't think there's any more details left to cover, at least on the structural part of the exterior. This guy's shooting at me when I'm trying to monologue. Bro, time and place. Anyway, as you can see, this outside extension got a new coat of paint, or wood. Wasn't too difficult to do, because each one of these things was kind of my marker of where exactly the beams went. I didn't want to take them down, and so I didn't use the multi-graph to copy and paste. You already saw this patio, but all I really did here is I added a door. I kind of wonder if a sleek door, you know, with holes in it. It's kind of a nicer door. I wonder if that would be better, but they're only sold by traders. Over here, I detailed these windows a tiny bit, so I have these bricks that kind of like stick out. And a secret about these bricks, these are actually those half offset bricks, because I wanted them to kind of hang out past the edge of the window properly. So they extend into the next block by a little bit. So they're half offset bricks. Then I added these are just roof ends, and then I had to chisel some extra black shingles in here so that they connect and, you know, look a little bit more congruent. Finished this exterior wall, added points to every single one of these. Again, there was really no way I could copy the shape. I had to do it all manually. Brings me back to the old days. Let's see the inside real quick. I changed the trusses. I vaulted them a little bit just because... Oh, what are you doing in here, man? It allows you to see the windows better. That's pretty much the only reason I decided to do that. The interior here, this is also bald cypress now. And then this is done. Right, you kind of got a spoiler on it. I got the tile pattern working. I think it looks pretty nice. I can unfortunately only stack bricks in this big tile because that right there is a complete block. Like, I can't stack bricks in any of these. Only that one. That's okay, you know, just some fire clay bricks. And then I doctored this one up a little bit so it looks a little nicer. We have a little bit of a basin with some wood ready to go. Maybe I should have like a place for storing fuel. The next thing I want for outside, besides just maybe a fuel area, is different colors of storage vessel corresponding to types of clay that I could just keep in there, which will be nice. I want 2 of each. There's red ceramic storage vessels. There's not blue. Any kind of special pattern storage vessel have to be found in ruins, and I can't really count on that. The closest, in my opinion, is gray. And I believe gray takes 1 door open, and to get a red one with red clay, you need 2 doors open. So we can't run them in the same cycle. The last one, of course, is also fire clay storage vessel, which can be run at any temperature, so that's fine. But you know, I don't just want red and gray storage vessels. I think it will be cool in here to have tons and tons of shelves, and 1 color at least of each type of item. And then when it's arranged on these shelves, it would look like a rainbow. I think that would be pretty cool. The larger stuff which can't fit on the shelf, like the flower pots, the planters, the storage vessels, that would go out here in like a display area, and I would have to build benches to put them on. Underneath the shelving unit, I would put chests, and those would have like the bricks and stuff and extras with them. What if I could put bricks on shelves? I actually don't know. Make shelves right now. Okay. There's that. Can I brick it up? Yeah. Okay, cool. I just think it would be a cool way to display merchandise. Here's the thing, you can't really get picky with how the bricks are positioned on the shelf. They start from the back, then move to the front, and you can pick left or right, or top or bottom, but you can't just put them on the front. So maybe I have to have 2 in each for proper display reasons. Now, I have no delusions of grandeur about filling this with every single type. I think that that's going to be a gradual thing, especially with the amount of fuel and clay that we'll require. We barely have any blue clay left. I mean, barely. We have a decent amount of cream stuff, though. I'm pretty happy about that. Nothing gray. So let's do gray first. Oh, I can't. Oh, I can clay form out here. That's weird. I wanted 2 storage vessels for outside. How much do those cost? I think they're pretty pricey. Maybe a third one for the display. Let's do 1 pot. Actually, 2 pots. This is such a mess. I can only clay form on certain surfaces. 2 crocs. I'm gonna call it there. We'll see how far I can get with this, you know? Certain colors at Clayworks or whatever I decide to call this place are gonna be a special commodity. You know something that's funny that this reminds me of? My very first going in blind video on Vintage Story. You know, obviously I didn't really know what I was doing. I still get comments on that video to this day giving me advice. Oh, if you press F, you can change the brush size for clay form. Thank you, yes. I mean, that video is like a year old. Like, if you're just watching that video, I get it, but I mean, I still would have had a year and, you know, hundreds of other comments helping me out there. It's not the only video I still get tips on, too. But I don't really mind, I just think it's funny. Okay, there are those, and it's getting darker. That reminds me, I need to work on some lanterns. Thinking mobile chalcos for the lanterns because they're black, you know, they would kind of go with the roof and stuff. What else can we make here? We've got a cooking pot. I guess the question is, would I rather have 2 cooking pots or 1 cooking pot, 1 crock? And for display reasons, right? I don't really know. Let's just go in order, I guess. Put this torch down. Doing good. We can do some more. Let's do a bowl. Another bowl. We got 2 bowls. 2 pots, 2 crocks, 2 bowls. Don't have enough for a planter. I'm not very pressed in the flower pots as much because I'm not going to put them on the shelves. They can't go on there. Oh crap. I didn't mean to select that. I didn't mean to do that there. Can I just subtract it? Let's do crucible. That actually does fit on the shelves. It clips into it, but I'm going to put it at the very top. So let's just like subtract this one. Bye-bye. One more. Leaving us with 2. Can make an ingot mold. I don't really want to do that. To make 2 more bowls. I'll just hold on to it. This is what we got. These stack, but crocks don't. I just realized there's a gap right here where I walk. That's funny. While I'm here, I might as well do the fire clay. I'm not really hung up on making fire clay versions of everything, but I kind of wondered if I should. They are kind of unique, right? Like, it's just slightly different than tan. These are tan. This is fire clay. It's a little darker. It's a little bit lighter here. You can have fire clay versions of everything, and just so I wonder if I should. Speaking of which, dark brown ceramic storage vessel. Looks like you literally can't make this outside of a pit kiln. That's interesting. You can get brown, but you can never get dark brown. Good to know. Black and dark brown are like almost the same. Huh. Something to keep in mind. Maybe I need pit kilns back here. Maybe I do. You know, for special occasions. Actually, I could have them down here, couldn't I? I'm getting sidetracked. Alright. I guess 3 fire clay. Oh yeah, we can make an oven. I forgot. 3 fire clay storage vessels. I'm at the point of recording where I'm thinking about, like, what do I even call the video? Sometimes I know ahead of time, like the last one, right? I don't know what I'm gonna call this one. Building a cozy shop in Vintage Story. Ooh, that sounds AI generated. You know, there's something about AI. Now that it's on the scene, like, not only is it a competitor, but also you have to, like, make sure something that you just think of doesn't sound like it's AI. You know what I mean? I have to make a video title or come up with one that doesn't sound like ChatGPT thought of it for me, right? Like, it's not a big deal. I just got to be careful, right? Because now I find myself looking at videos I see and getting my recommended, looking at the titles, and I'm like, is that really written by a person? Hard to tell. Because some people really do just speak how a large language model does. Is it large? Learning. No, it's learning, right? Anyway, yeah, some people speak that way, especially like online or whatever. There we go. We can do those. You know, we could get extra shelving in here for extra fire clay products. I'm just, you know, I'm not very pressed on the fire clay. But, might as well have a few for the shelves. Oh, you can stack crocs. Maybe it's just not finished crocs you can stack. Let's go for broke. Why don't we have the shelves in there? I am pretty sure you have my mortar. Yes. What is it, like this? Apparently not. Could have fooled me. Extra space. What else we got? 2 pots? What else? 2 crucibles? Sure. I haven't even thought about jugs yet, but we can do that as well. I guess I just find jugs kind of useless compared to like a bucket. I mean, they're way more effort to make. They hold less water. I mean, does liquor store in it longer, maybe? I don't know. I mean, sometimes I guess you just want a jug. It's like nicer for a house or a kitchen, right? But like, like practically, the bucket's just gonna be better, from what I remember. Nope, go back there. We've got 3 left. I'm sure I've got more somewhere, actually. Oh, look, I have way more blue clay in here. I thought, okay, I have a little bit left. All right, well, I could make more, but here's the thing, okay? All this that I've made here, all this blue clay stuff, this is only for 1 color. So I could save this for another color another time. Having a 1 door open for this is going to make it gray. What if I had a 1 door open for red clay? What would we get from that? Ooh, orange. That's cool. I mean, look, technically I could put some red clay in here too, get some fun colors. Let's do it. I've got a lot, so that's one thing I'm not worried about running out of. Just do 1 storage container. 2 bowls to start. It's a lot of clay for me, man. Okay, we can put that one up here. I could add more shelves. I'm gonna do that. We're really gonna max this sucker out. 2 pots, 2 crocs. Okay, look, you know something I wish I could do? One of these brush things is layer duplication. So like I can duplicate the previous layer onto here. That's helpful for repetitive stuff. But like I wish I could cross that over to this one. Since that was the last layer I made on this thing, I would ideally like to be able to duplicate that layer on the next thing. But I can't. It's actually per block or per clay form. It doesn't cross over. It'd be neat if it crossed over. Although I understand, I guess it's kind of a big ask. You know, last night I heard a sound I've never heard before. I always sleep with my window open. Sometimes I like to hear, you know, what's going on. I heard like a screech, and it woke me up. It was like 3 in the morning. It happened a few times, and I could not figure out for the life of me what it was. So it wasn't like a scream. It wasn't like a fox. You know, it wasn't a possum or a skunk or a raccoon. I actually looked up every single sound that those animals make just in case. Now, some of the answers offered by Google was eastern screech owl, but they don't really sound similar to what I heard at all. Neither does a great horned owl or any kind of hawk, which I'm pretty familiar with. Now, my other thought is like, is it a bobcat? Is it a mountain lion or a cougar or something? Because they sound pretty freaky. And you know, maybe it could have been that. I really think it was some kind of bird. And the reason I think it was some kind of bird is because it was trilling. Like I detected or I heard a faint trill. And birds do that, you know. I mean, maybe other animals can do things that sound similar to that, I guess. So again, I don't really know what it was. And to be honest, since I was woken up at 3 in the morning and I heard this a few times and then I went and researched what it could have been. I listened to so many different animal noises. I kind of forgot what it originally sounded like. I mean, I would have to hear it again to really remember it, I guess. All I remember is that I remember thinking to myself, like, oh, it kind of sounds like a bird or it sounds like it's trilling. So I have that to go off of. You know, I went to bed right after, so anyway. If anybody has any suggestions, it's not a fox, by the way. It definitely wasn't a fox. I know what those sound like. Let's make a fun flower pot. Guess the only other thing I can think of is like bricks, you know? We can put bricks in there. I'm not gonna waste blue clay on bricks, but I wouldn't mind wasting red clay. Why not? Let's make a crap ton of bricks. Beautiful. It's blocking my view of the interior. That's a lot of ceramics, man. That took a while. That was like 30 minutes of placing voxels for me. Alright, let her rip. While that's going, let's work on the lanterns. That should be stocked with just enough wood. Man, you're waiting so patiently. You know something, I haven't fed him in a long time. You can feed your elk. I remember I had a trough for him at the old place, but like as far as actual benefits go, I don't think it actually does anything. Like he always heals up, he always runs pretty fast. They can't breed, so I don't see the point. Chalcos. Lead and copper. Mostly lead, but a good lantern material. See, if I had a hell of hammer, this would probably be a lot more fun. Something I do like about this game is that automation comes with effort. You know, and that's why I'm hesitant to download mods that just make things easier. Same goes for Minecraft, I guess, but like automation as in farms in Minecraft. And like once you build them, you kind of never have to service them. Depends on the farm, of course. But some of them just produce infinite items forever. So anyway, like even if it's automated, it always takes work. It always takes fuel, materials, whatever. I've actually only have 8 of these. I don't know what I'm thinking here. There we go. It's something like 2 ingots. We'll make 1 flat thing. Panel, plate, that's what I'm thinking of. 1 plate per lantern, so this will make us 4, and that's enough, I think. All right, primed. I think I remember in servers seeing lanterns that cast specific shades of light, and I think it's like if you right-clicked it with some kind of glass pane color. What kind of glass can we get? Green, blue, violet, red, yellow, brown, vintage. Is that like a legacy item? Pink, quartz, smoky. Smoky quartz. I've never seen that. Rose quartz? Are you kidding me, dude? How do I find this stuff? Looks like I have to buy yellow glass, red glass, green glass, I bet. Yeah, olivine. Have to buy blue. Amethyst is a thing. Good to know. Can I prospect for amethyst? Nope. It's not on the list. How do I spell amethyst? There we go. Get to smash these things up. Where do you find them, though? I don't know. Not that it's important, it's just an interesting bit of trivia, I guess. Just wait till late game we can have a gigantic metal crucible, like a steel crucible, specifically for mass metal production. I don't even think that's a mod. How insane would that be, huh? Like there's natural upgrades to pottery making. So think about the natural upgrades to smelting. Smithing is upgraded with the Helve Hammer, you know, that kind of thing. Anyway, we've got 1 candle. Either we pan for more candles, or I go kill a bunch of bees. I'm gonna kill a bunch of bees. That's what I'm gonna do. Kind of wonder if I destroy a bee's nest, will they go back into a skep? Like if I put 1 down, will they go back into it? I kind of think that they won't do that. Just remember, bees are technically a renewable resource. Look at them go. There's all kinds of animals over here. Okay. Yay. Thank you. Excuse me. What? I heard another one right here. I'm never gonna be able to find him in here. Yay. Hey! Jeez. Wonder if any of them fell up on top of that tree. There's another hive over here. Back off. Back off. Yes. Save me, olive tree. Oh, it's empty. I wonder if all the olive trees are empty because it's winter? Oh my gosh, it's year 5. Ah, my lord. This pottery house project has taken half the year. Can you believe that? Half a year. I hit 300 hours on this world. I mean, it really took a lot more effort than I expected. I really thought it was going to be simple compared to the castle. It's a castle, like, didn't take nearly this long. Look at the tiny little fish in there. I hear another beehive. I think it's on this tree. See little bees flying up there. Oh, there's the nest. Uh-huh. Yay. Love honey, man. Go after the fish, not me. They did it. The bees attacked my elk. Wonder if they would attack fish. That'd be funny. Man, more porkies. Look at them all. There really is just like a crap ton of animals around here. Maybe it feels that way because I travel by elk everywhere now, and this plain is huge. Wow, that looks cool, man. I mean, the roof doesn't look cool, but it just looks cool, alright? This place is looking good. Wow. Let's do a status update. Still going. How do we do this again? Do I need a fruit press? I think I do. Yeah, I need a fruit press. Which means you need a rod of some kind. Fat, resin, da-da-da-da-da. Got some resin. These should be done. But I've got to now smith these into plates and apparently make some more for a rod. So yeah, cool. Alright, here's our fruit press. I ended up making an extra few plates because I was just smelting and I figured might as well let some more go while I was busy. So pretty sure all I gotta do... Oh no, is that not gonna press? There might not be enough in there. Oh gosh. Crap, there's, there's rules. It's not enough. Crap, dude. Means I gotta go get more. That really takes the wind out of your sails. You know something? It's 9:30. I always crave black tea at night. I always do. What I really need to do is get decaf tea. It exists. That way I can drink it at night. I never really think about that when I go buying tea, because I almost never go buying tea. Maybe I should make just like a deal with a wholesaler, you know? Like if I buy a crap ton of tea from a wholesaler, I will drink it all, eventually. Like it doesn't go bad. Not really. Usually there's an expiration date on tea or whatever, but it really doesn't ever go bad. I've never had tea go bad, ever. When I was getting new into it, I had this batch of homemade jasmine tea. It was my first time making like loose leaf green tea. And it was some good stuff, man. It was some really good stuff. It was from a local place. I supposedly are like, some lady growing it in her backyard. And it was delicious. And like, it was my first time having jasmine tea. It was great. One time I brewed it and it was bitter. And I brewed it again and it was bitter. And I thought like, it must have gone bad. So I threw it away. I threw it all away. Turns out green tea is just sensitive to temperature. I didn't know that. I don't know why I didn't know that. I guess, I just boiled the water and then let it cool a little bit. I didn't have a way to check the temperature of it. Or I probably could have, I was just too lazy to. I hear an extra. So yeah, wasteful. I don't remember why I brought that up. Oh, that was the one apparently. Hey, leave it be. Leave it be. I see you up there. Hey, back off. Back off. Back off. Yay. Only 3. Ooh, look, lobster. These mushrooms are like, a big deal. Ooh, look, onions. I love onions. Oh boy. Ooh, look, catmint. I actually should take some of this. for decorative purposes. I remember hearing my favorite vintage story YouTuber, Ashantin3, say that catmint was her favorite flower. Ooh, wild daisy. Look, more onions. Oh my god, red currant bush, can you believe it? Cow parsley? Oh hey, look, a butterfly. Feels like a long time since I've seen a butterfly. Yeah, you can catch those. Huh. Yeah, maybe another time. That's another building I could have in the village. I could have a bug house. I don't have enough room to hold all this. What are these ones? These are woads, right? Yeah. Yeah. They're kind of pretty. Ooh, a rift. Can't pick that one. Oh, it's not working. Frame rate drop. A greenhouse would be nice, like a flower house. A florist. Yeah, I should write this down. A lot of lobster growing on here. Isn't lobster like a type of infection on a mushroom? Or a special type of like bacterial growth on a mushroom that makes it taste good? I thought that's what lobster was. Like it's not actually its own mushroom. Or am I thinking of something else here? I don't actually know. Hey, excuse me. They're going after the pig. Wait, is he going after me? Bro. Get him. Get him. Wait, no. They changed their minds. They went after me. Where's my key to run? Ooh, forget me not. Oh, look at this little pretty lake. Look, I'm just enjoying life right now. I feel like summer's basically here. Still kind of spring. I mean in real life. There's different, you know? Get a little pep in my step. Oh, there's a bee here. Hate to kill so many bees. It's on this tree. Ow. There it is. Yay. All this just to juice a little extra honey. Oh look, there's one extra. They store in stacks of 8. I need Elkrum. Come here, Elkrum. I need his deep side pockets. Oh, he's got space for one. Oh my gosh, I just heard them attacking the chicken. And now he's mad at me. What the heck? Are these animals smart? Dang, that's the second time. Don't tell me the hen's attacking me. I guess she's feeling a bit peckish. I love the chickens in this game. You know, there was a mod that added like pheasants and like turkeys or something. What? Hey, nice. What a find. Thank goodness. Oh, hey, there's my house. So we're in a circle. You know, Minecraft, if you grow a tree, I think it's either a birch or an oak, next to flowers, it increases the chance of it growing with a beehive. When bees were relatively new, I had a world and I would just always grow my trees next to flowers, and then I just would collect the beehives like crazy and had so many. I actually did like the bees that they added. They're a little fantastical, but I like them. Quite the menagerie. Please. Certainly that's enough. There we go. Nice. 30 beeswax. Okay, well, I have no idea what to do with this. At least it never goes bad. There was a tea mod, right? And then someone had to fork it because whoever developed it originally stopped developing it. The original creator was planning on like adding cream and honey to tea. Man, how nice would that have been? And now I don't think we're ever gonna get that. Unless I learned how to mod. Supposedly it's easier than modding Minecraft, but sheesh, I can't do that. To make these into candles, we just cook it with flax. So we can make 10 candles. So I assume 10 of these. I don't know if this pot will become unusable, so I'm going to use a different one. I can only do a little bit at a time. We'll create 6 candles. Neat. When I was a kid, my grandparents took me and my brother like up north, and we stopped at some kind of Amish place. It was like a tourist attraction where you learn how to live like the Amish, and I think we panned for gold a little bit, but we also dipped candles. And you know, you dip the string in wax, and then you dip it in water, and then you dip it back in the wax. Dipping in the hot wax puts it on the string, and dipping in the water cools it off so you can add another layer. And that's how they make candles. And the string is the wick, or whatever, right? So that was pretty cool, you know? I wonder if I would like to do that again. Oh, now it's residue covered. And it's still cooking for some reason. Why doesn't it go there? Whatever. I just added one more firewood to it. I wonder if that would be enough. Just because, like, there's already residual heat. I think I gotta slice these. right? That's not enough. There we go. 7 brand new lanterns. Supposedly you can line this with gold, silver, or like an alloy of the two. And that'll make the lantern 2 points brighter so it can light up 2 blocks further. So that's like, you're really min-maxing there. You're really flexing, because it's not enough of a boost to warrant it until I guess your late game. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh, are we gonna make it? There's no smelting temperature here, so probably fine. Huh. Look, it finished and it didn't fill all the way up. That's weird. Okay. Let's check on our progress over here. Oh, look at that. Wow. Oh no. Oh no, I didn't open the doors. What's wrong with me, man? I'm supposed to open the doors. I didn't open the doors. Well, thank goodness we found another blue clay deposit. Yeah, ugh, whatever, man. Now we have tan everything. Thing is that we already had a bunch of tan stuff, so it was kind of a waste. And cream. I do really like how these look, so like it's not terrible. But jeez, man. Look, yeah, the finished ones don't stack. It's kind of neat having this scattered look, just like pottery everywhere. But it actually does need to be, I don't know, on a shelf or something. You know what, I just had a thought. If you take shelf and you put a chisel above it, you can make a decorative shelf. This is a feature of the chisel mod that I have. You can make a decorative shelf. So like, what if, all right, what if I made a shelf that looked like these cream bricks? That would be pretty cool. I mean, we've already got these. They're not bad. But I mean, cream bricks would just look so cool. Look freaking awesome. This took so long, I'm just not going to worry about it. Like, that's just going to be like a problem to solve another day. I want to get to interior and exterior decoration. I don't even know those lanterns are going to go yet. But for now, they're going here. I chiseled the inside of this entrance. Now it's a little bit more bricky. I like it. And then I also made all these shelving units. So I kind of made them in a very specific way. You'll see why in a minute. There's 5 each, because each can hold 2 rows. And there are 9 total ceramic colors. Now, I believe that in the next update, there's a new color coming called Earth and Orange or something like that. So that's why we have 10 spaces. Oh, we probably was going to have 10 spaces anyways. But look, if more colors are added, I mean, there's room to expand this and everything. So here's what we're going to do. These are just chiseled blocks. They're not functional shells yet. So I'm going to break all of these. Okay, I just have to kind of remember what order I put those in. Now this is a normal shelf. We have 20 shelves that I'm going to place here. So let's craft those really quickly. The idea is we take these 20 shelves and then we put a chisel over it, and then now we have a decorative shelf, right? So whatever multi-block or chisel block that we make, we can just kind of switch out the basic shelf model for that one. That's how this works, and I believe that the same applies to path blocks, ladders, doors, chests, with the chisel mod, which is pretty cool. Did I make too many of these? It's actually 3. Dang, okay, whatever. Well, we have 5 extra, I guess, if I really need it. Anyway, this is what they normally look like, and it actually isn't, like, bad. I don't mind how that looks at all. But we're going to keep with the theme here. So I'm just going to right-click it. With the new shelves that I've made. Oh, crap. Replace that one on accident. Undo. I'm glad I at least get it back. 4 more. There we go. Ta-da, our new shelves. Now, here's the idea for this. I still really got to figure out, like, the kind of Roy G. Biv scenario here, you know? Well, we have a lot of creamy stuff, so let's take some of these. 2 pots. So on the bottom, let's start with the cooking pots, and let's go with the crocks, and then let's go with the bowls. Very shelfy. The next 2 spots that I have space for are crucibles and jugs. Those both go on a shelf. However, they're so tall they clip into the next shelf. So that's why these ones don't have like a shelf layer, even though you could technically stick it on there. So I just removed it so you'd be able to see what it would look like. And we have 2 crucibles. I'll put those up there. But as you can see, if I stick them there, they clip into the top shelf. I don't have any jugs. So, I mean, it is what it is when it comes to that. But there you go. Those are our shelves. Now out here, I've kind of reconfigured these areas to hold all 9 types of bricks. And more, you know, if necessary, I can just extend it against this back wall. I have to chisel the floor. I guess there's different types of refractory bricks, right, that we can make. So there's plenty of room back here. I guess the question becomes, where am I going to stick the clay? I think the fuel, I'll make little slots in here and put storage vessels down there for the fuel. That would be convenient to get to, you know what I mean? Then we've got more of these. These are tan, so I don't mind putting them right here. There we go. Do I have like any other color besides those two? Seems like no. Kind of a shame. I have fire clay though. That's kind of close to tan. You know what, it is actually kind of a lighter color between the two. Let's switch them around. Wait a minute. This is fire clay crock. That's a fire clay bowl. That's a fire clay pot. And that's a tan pot. Whereas this bowl and this crock are tan. Everything on this side is fire clay and everything on this side is tan. But it's almost like the textures of these pots are mixed. Like this fire clay should be this color. You know, it should be like this. Because it matches everything else. They're like mixed. Look at that. That's gonna bother me. That really is gonna bother me. Maybe I need to make a bug report thread on that, huh? The fire clay crucible is consistent color. Interesting tidbit. I feel like looking over in this general direction just like lowers my FPS. Got a lot of bricks in here. Move these ones over one. I think it makes sense to have like tan bricks, brown bricks, red bricks, maybe. I'll have to figure out the order of the color here later on. But actually, I don't want these to get too tall. Yeah, I actually don't know what order these are going to go in. Tan bricks are consistent, so it is only the cooking pots that are screwed up. Huh. Wall of bricks. You know, I can't actually reach into there. Oh no. Maybe some reconfiguring is necessary later on. I'll figure out the best way to do it. You know, after dealing with it a certain way for so long, you start to learn how to innovate. And here, you may have already seen these. I chiseled some pretty nice tables. This is for holding our very fancy planters and flower pots, the stuff that we can't stack on the shelves. And also, like, I can't pick them up. I have to break them. The way this is set up, I should be able to, you know, put a storage vessel, a flower pot, and a planter on each table, just to show you what's possible. And then these ones have lanterns on them to light up the room, so there's still 3 spaces. That being said, though, there's obviously not enough tables in here to display every color, so I'm just going to display my favorites. And then in the center of the room, I'm just going to have a chest to hold the rest of them. That's kind of my thought. We really don't have very many kinds of storage vessels. We've got fire clay ones. We have one tan one. I made 1 brown planter, 1 black planter. Like black would be good if we get more of these. What's another color? I mean, the only other color we kind of got is brown. So that's going to have to do. This is our display room. It's a good enough spot for the lanterns, I think. Then I have one hanging out here. Probably be wise to have another one towards this side. I still have a lot of materials in here. I don't know how I'm going to store the excess. Not yet. I have to do a lot of organizing later, and that's just not maybe interesting enough for a video. All this extra stuff goes in here. Now I've got 3 more wood trunks. My thought is I'll display, you know, our ceramics up on here, and then underneath I'll have a wood trunk. But since it's going to be like 2 colors per trunk, I'm going to turn them sideways. I'm going to have a big one because they hold a lot of space. Oop. So I'm going to place it like that. So I'm breaking these so it'll fit. The other thing I gotta do, I guess, is place some birch underneath that. I haven't got any. Do we have any other ceramics? You know, it would be nice. Ooh, I do have this one. Look at that. Planter loam. That's a special one. Did we get that earlier in the video? Oh, I've got like a chair. That's pretty cool. Oh, how cool. Doesn't that look cool from the outside, huh? The chest is a little underwhelming. You know, maybe I could decorate this to make it look like a center table, like a round table. That could be cool. Alright, that's replaced. So how I'm gonna cover up the back is I'm just gonna do... This is an old trick. Well, not really. Just cover it with a thin little layer of wall here and hope that nobody notices. That's the plan. I mean, it really isn't too noticeable, actually, so... Okay. Seamless. Seamless. Nice. I don't have enough chests for this at the moment. So look, we'll do white on one side and tan on the other for our excess. And we're going to put our fire clay stuff on the other side. You know, in some sort of order, I guess. You know, roughly, right? Crocs are going to take up the most space. You know, this is looking nicer, though. Now it's time to add some foliage. Like, I grabbed all kinds of plants that I've got. That looks nice. I like that. I'm just going to borrow some of the planters in here. Well, we just have one. Okay. I need more of those. Really do need more. Like a one out here would be really nice. We need a lantern out here as well, actually. Where do I put it? You know, these are, like, technically not good enough to put a lantern on because they're inset. What if I had made a lamppost? That'd be cool. For now, though, look, we can even put barrel cactus in here. Ooh, pretty. Wonder how wild daisies would look in there. Oh, that's nice. We put vines around here. No. We could put them on the bottom. Ooh. Can't put them on the top. We can put them on the bottom. Would it be worth it, okay, to extend these out just to put vines on them? Because then we can, like, add more. Get what I mean? I don't know. It lights up a little weird. That is a little strange. I'm going to leave it for now. But we need more planters. Let's empty this sucker out. Let's stick one out here for fire clay. Put some inside. Really liking how this place turned out, man. A little bench out here. Nice. Yeah, we can make all kinds of different color chairs. We just have to dye cloth to be able to do it. Is there a furniture's merchant somewhere? Yeah, there is one far north of here. Furniture trader. Maybe we can go find him so we can pimp out our crib here. The other thing I want to plant around here is berry bushes. Do I even have any? I have a feeling the answer is no. Nope. None. And I like this painting and stuff. It'd be nice to have some paintings in there. Here's what I think, Algrim. Let's go make some visits to some traders. I'll drop off these plants at the clay store. That's not the only thing I'm going to do, though. While I'm at it, let's light her up. I want more planters. That's a brown one. The brown ones are nice. I kind of like the lighter color ones for maybe exterior stuff. We have this right now, so let's make use of that. We have a little bit of blue clay, too. Got some clay in the oven back home. We're on our way to visit some traders. Stopped by that oak tree from earlier, and turns out we had some that didn't despawn. Heavy temporal storms approaching right now. Right now? Okay. Ooh, white currant. Here's what I've been thinking. It'd be cool to have, like, black currants and white currants outside that building, and then we can kind of trim them. Because you can trim them with shears. The reason black and white currants, I'm sure you can guess, is because the building itself is white and black. So it'll go pretty well. But I've been grabbing a lot of berry bushes around here. We're going to visit this guy, and then to the west, there's another guy who sells commodities. This is a furniture trader, and I have no room, so I'm going to dump off more oak logs. What's up, buddy? Iron door, sleek door. Ooh. I'm not terribly interested in the doors. I mean, maybe if I found something that better matched what I wanted. But these aren't craftable, just so you know. You can only get them from traders. But what he does have, which I do like, are these paintings. I'll take 26 gears worth of paintings, please. Nice. You know, Minecraft paintings are just incredibly cheap. So it's interesting in like this game, they're kind of rare. It's rare to have like good art, you know? I don't know if I've mentioned it already. This is the longest video I've ever recorded. By far. I'm sure we're at like 8 hours of footage. So look, if you have made it this far into the video, I mean, I'm going to edit it down, obviously. But if you've made it this far into the video, I appreciate your dedication and I admire it. And you know what? There's an 8 hour or a 9 or a 10 hour version for the members where they can see all the other crap that I cut out. Got a guy over here that sells commodities. I can't ever really remember what that means, but I think it means he does sell like some decorative stuff. Wow, red clay. It stormed so hard the other night that my family, we all gathered into like the mechanical room, the room with the water boiler and the water softener and stuff. Because that's how hard it was storming. And nothing ended up happening, but I saw some photos of cars being flipped over. You know something, if I lived in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, you know, because Michigan's actually 2 peninsulas, if you didn't know that. If I lived in the Upper Peninsula, my chances of being like hit by a tornado go down to pretty much almost nothing. Just food for thought, I guess. Only 3% of Michigan's population lives up there from last I checked. So it's pretty sparse, but I don't mind that at all, huh? Look at these big old walnut trees with the vines. That's cool. You know what's really pretty is this amaranth. It's really pretty. It's too bad I don't think that we can stick that in a pot, though. Because it's a crop. You know, it's not a flower. Alright, buddy, let's see what you got. This is some really nice country, by the way. Oh, this is what a commodities trader sells. Good to know, I guess. Only half of his stock was full. Oh, look, we have a treasure trader on the way back we can hit. We have a luxuries merchant we can also hit on the way back. Thing is, as I live right next to a luxuries merchant, so this guy's inventory should only be slightly different. Well, we've got to head back anyway. Ooh, white currant. Oh, look at all the butterflies there, wow. Over here there's a huge patch of, I was gonna say hot springs, but you know, we can't hardly see them. There's a huge patch over here. Yeah, look at that. Boiling water. There he is. Alright, buddy, what do you got for me? Clothes. Cool belt, I guess. Blackguard saddle blanket. Nice. Ooh, and a painting. Messenger saddle blanket. That's kind of pretty, huh? I would like one of these. All I can give you is that blueberry bush. Look how the blueberry bush is still affected by the wind as an item. That is wacky. You know, I'm becoming quite the art collector. I did want to have a museum with like rare items and some paintings and stuff. I did want to have that in the town. I have interesting plans for that. I'll say that much. All this art I'm collecting, that's kind of getting me in the mood to build a museum of some kind. But man, I mean, if building that clay building took this long, how long will that take? My gosh. Call me crazy, but I saw, oh, look, it's a bear. That's just a black bear though. Not in the mood for a bear hunt. Tempting. Yeah, I saw this guy. He's unmarked, which means I don't think I've been to him. Maybe he'll sell something cool. There's clay right there too. Hi, Yearn. Okay, well, he's an agricultural supplier. You know, normally these guys aren't too bad because they sell you things like seeds for stuff you can't normally get, but nothing I don't already have. How close are we to this temporal storm? 0.09 days. What is that? Just over 2 hours? Right? Wait, no. It's, math is base 60. I'm really not the guy to calculate that kind of thing. Just on the spot like that. A tenth of 24 hours, is that 144 minutes? But, well, now it's a 20th. So that's 72 minutes. So just over an hour till that temp storm kicks in. Right? I may be totally off. I'm gonna get stuck in this forest and die. Ah! I can just see it. There's our house cresting over the hill. Oh, it's imminent, which means... Oh, huge lag spike. If it's imminent, that means it's 0.01 days. So that's 14 minutes. By the way, when I say minutes, I mean in-game minutes. I think an in-game minute is like 3 seconds. So we probably have 30 seconds. Come on. Come on. Where? There we go. Phew. So it should kick in like right about now. Wow. I was right. I'm not that bad at math. You know, I came up with 2 lamppost designs. Check this out, huh? Pretty cool. I just don't know if I like the one with the curvy top because it's a little weird. You know, the spacing is kind of like the way the lantern hangs is not flexible. You know, it can only go in the center of a block. And it's a little weirdish, but like, I don't know. It's a little bit better than this plain one, that's for sure. Tough decision, so I made 2 of them. Anyway, I took the vines down. I wasn't liking the cut of their jib. We're gonna do black currant and white currant bushes. So maybe like... That looks fun. Now we should be able to cut them down like into squares. I don't know if I like that though, being honest with you. It's like the sticks inside of them are phasing in and out of existence. We have other options. See, we have Art's Tongue Fern, which might look good. Woads, Catmint, these are all like big flowers. Might look good here. Do black currant, white currant, black currant, white currant. I like that. I like that a lot. That's very pretty. Cool. Left this one. You got some wood for me, buddy? I mean, I guess he does. I think I can make a table, right? Nice. Table and chair. I like how this tree is here. It's like I want more trees. This one is really growing on me, even though I thought it was weird to start out. Inside, there really wasn't actually great space for the paintings. Still have 2 more. The one above the door. Just like I don't really want to put them in between the windows. I don't know. That's good enough for now. Let's make another table for the interior. Maybe that's what needs to be going here, huh? This should be done. The beautiful orange ceramic planters. I also made multiple pots and things like that. That can go there for now. I don't know. I put the brown one up. As far as orange goes, where does that fit in here? I feel like it would go after tan, right? Oh man, you know, it's too bad I didn't make a storage vessel that was orange. That would have gone together pretty nicely. Not sure where gray would go. I'm gonna stick it over here. What else have we got? That's everything. I don't mind just actually sticking these around for now. Put some more planters around for funsies. Got a fern growing over there. Got a woad growing there. Got a catmint growing there. Looking pretty freaking nice. Got a brown one there. Get me nuts? How about a flower pot? Actually, you know what would be better? It makes sense to put a flower pot on a table, right? I feel like a purpley lupine would look good there. Very decorative interior now. Make another table. Cornflower? Oh, that's weird. Model doesn't quite fit inside. Let's do a white lupine. I've only got one. Neat. Time to shine is like out here, man. Planters, planters, planters. Beautiful, beautiful flowers. Will that fit in there? It will. I kind of feel like I should have some planters in a row right there. Like I think that would look pretty cool. What if we had white, gray, and then black? So we have like the full melange, you know? Is that a word that I just used, or is that a fake word? That's a fake word, that ain't real. So I guess it's time to remove this sucker. Don't want you. Problem is that doesn't really fit anywhere. I got a weird question. Can we put a white currant bush in one of these? Nope. Cacti. Cornflower. Fern. You know, that's not bad. It's not bad, but I think I should move it out. So it's on the limestone here. Alright, we're gonna move this one over. One piece at a time. Nice. Took me a while to get this angle kind of correct. Oh, okay. Oops. I can't reach it there. There's no way. Come on. Imagine one of these, but diagonal. How wicked would that be, huh? But like pretty much where I want to be. You know, this looks pretty good. I might move around that lamppost. We'll see. Like a furnished interior. We got plants, we got paintings, we got somewhat of a ceramic collection going. Have a little bit of ways to go, but we're gonna keep at it. I think that we're gonna keep adding more stuff to it. It'll be fully furnished out. This was a lot of freaking work, man. This was a lot of work to get this done. Very, very satisfying. I've never really decorated like this, so I just, you know, I feel good about it. I'll finish eating these expired berries real quick. One more thing I want to try. Oh, by the way, this tree really makes this place look nice. If only it was closer. But look, this is where we're at. Okay. So imagine how this whole place will look like when it's filled up with unique looking buildings, because dang, this looks really cool at the base of the castle. I'm really liking that a lot. You know what I've been watching lately, or occasionally tuning into, is Karaza streams. And he's building this gigantic octagonal base in the desert that's like fantastically planned out, you know. He did a really good job with that, so shout out to him. Alright, I'm running over here. I want to try one more thing. I just want to try something. Traders are not meant to be put in halls, you know, not like Minecraft. There's no trader breeding factories or whatever they do. But I kind of wonder if I can just get him to follow me in there, and then I lock the door, and then it's like he's working there. It'll be against his will, but it'll help complete the vision. Just gotta give him a hit. Yeah, alright, here he comes. These guys are pretty... They're pretty, thought he was gonna tip me. Looks like he got bored. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. It may look like he's short, but it's really because my player model is super tall compared to him. Come on, dude. Alright, yeah. That's it, buddy. Yay! Oops. Just wait for him to calm down. Oh, you admiring the porcelain, huh? It's not porcelain. I think he's trying to walk back. Marco, buddy, there's a wall there. It's chiseled. Maybe that's confusing his pathfinding. Look, you work here now, okay? You work here now. The best part is I can trade with him. So he is a luxuries merchant. He sells all this cool like glass, these resonator things. Ooh, gold lantern. So like he sells good stuff. But this is not like the home of a luxuries merchant. If it were up to me, I would move him into a different building that's more fitting for what he does, like a museum or something. I don't know who I would move into the clay place. Maybe a commodities merchant of some kind. Because there's all kinds of merchants around here. We just gotta get them to follow us for extended periods of time. I just wonder how I can do that without killing them eventually, right? Can I heal you? Am I healing myself? I am. You can heal the elk. I know that. I wonder if I healed him. Yeah, he's confused. You know, I forgot about a space for clinker bricks. Whatever. I don't know what to do about that, but maybe if I moved him on to a hotel or an inn or something, huh? They wouldn't keep trying to go home. Maybe he'll teleport there eventually. I'm not sure. Regardless, I'm really quite happy with this place. I hope you guys are happy with it too. It took a long time to get here, but it was really worth it. And we're not even really fully done. There's still more that I can add, but I'm gonna call it for now. It really is like, does feel like Animal Crossing on occasion, just with violent monsters. So hey guys, if you like the video, click buttons, like buttons, subscribe, whatever. Members get access to extended versions of my videos. Well, they're unedited, or they're less edited, you know, all the stuff I cut out is still in those videos. It's a way to support the channel, and like the extended videos are just, you know, to say thanks. So I appreciate that. If you really made it this far, I'm very impressed, because like this is probably gonna be a very long video. Say cucumber in the comment section, you know, if you actually made it to the end. A few more things to point out. I started doing a Voima series on my main channel. That's Monster83. If you guys want to see it, it's out there. But yeah, that's it. So I've been Monster, and have a good night.